if they're winning Super Bowls. Like, if you're a season ticket member, right? When did your tickets get drastically raised? When the Chiefs started to win. That's the biggest difference. If we're being completely honest, when your team wins, you pay that tax. That's the tax you pay. And so I get people's nervousness, fear of the unknown, but it feels like everyone's going to this dark place of despair and that this is all getting ripped away from you when we don't know. We don't know yet. I choose to be on the optimistic side. It's just my general outlook on life. And that's the way I'm going to be about this. If I'm disappointed, I'll be disappointed then. But I'm not going to be disappointed for 6 years. I'm going to try my best to be optimistic for 6 years.
Well, I wonder, too, I don't know where the hell they'd even put it, but let's say in a different world, a different reality, Arrowhead moved downtown. Like, let's say that you cleared out area, or there was some spot downtown, close to downtown, closer than they are right now, what the perception would be today. If it's still that we're losing, tailgate, you're losing Arrowhead Stadium, the nostalgia of it, and how different it is because they are moving to the Kansas side. In the grand scheme of things, it's not hours and hours away. As you brought up Soldier Field in Indiana, I mean, that's kind of hard to comprehend a little bit. But, I feel for the most part, you've got, the fan that's upset about losing Arrowhead Stadium, period. We've been going for 50 years, and we've always been there every single Sunday. Win, lose, or tie, we're supporting this team. It's the tailgating. It's the feeling you get when you walk in. It's the cold air that hits you on those November games and those December games, and it's the crowd roar. It's the tomahawk chop. That part of it, there is a chunk of fans going, that's what I'm sad about today.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah, there's the other side that, as you brought up to open up the show, I'm not supporting a team if they're moving to Kansas. This is a team that's always been in Missouri. I'm not for it, and that's what I'm sad about. I'm losing a team from my state, a state that I'm very prideful of, and they're going to the Kansas side, and we know all about the rivalry of these two states. And then you've got the third party here, which is elated about it, getting a brand new stadium, it being on the Kansas side for a lot of people closer to them. And I worked out by the Legends area before this, actually, for the Monarchs. So I know all about the Legends area, as everybody in this area does know about it.
Does, yeah.
But I did love it. There's a lot to do down there. And 5 years from now, who knows what it looks like and what that stadium is and what the tailgating experience is. But it is, we've now had 24 hours to really digest it. You see these three sides of it, and maybe you can throw in the fourth side of I'm sad about it, but I'm optimistic, as you probably are.
Yeah,
you lose that nostalgia because nobody really likes change. They're reluctant to it. You get comfortable. I'm one of those people. I don't like to throw away sentimental things, even when they're not that sentimental in the grand scheme of things, because you love that nostalgia of it, and that's the part of Arrowhead that everybody would be sad about, is you're losing a place that we've called home for decades upon decades.
Yeah. And we'll see. Again, I think if you're building a new stadium, I didn't personally care where they built it. That was my thought. I guess outside of the folks that just are saying, I'm never going to go to Kansas. Okay, Norm, I'm a Mizzou alum, right? Like, I love the stories. I love that. You know this. I love Missouri. But the point remains, I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to the Kansas side. I'm not going to games. Our office for radio is on the Kansas side. We're in Kansas right now. Again, I know I'm not everyone. But, diehard Mizzou alum, all of this. And I'm still saying I didn't care where they built it as long as they built it in the metro. If you're building a new stadium, I truthfully did not care outside of the best deal. The best offer. What makes the most sense? I think this makes a lot of sense. Because if you did it downtown, which again, how would that work?
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't work. And you couldn't tailgate.
No, that we talk about losing the tailgating experience, that's how it would be lost. If you put it in an area where there's not enough space. And
so if you're not going to renovate Arrowhead, because again, that's a 20-year decision, and I think at that point Arrowhead is gone. Like, I think in 20 years, an 80-plus year structure, at some point, the foundation, the underneath, the undercarriage, the underbelly, it's gone. That's just how buildings work. And if that were, again, a thought that I'm having here is, a decision for 20 years, and then you have the same conversation yet again, and you're probably having it in 10 years because it takes 10 years, 6 years to get anything going, to get the ball moving on this. Well, now you're not leaving it to Clark Hunt, Lamar Hunt. You're leaving it to Lamar Hunt Jr. You're leaving it to their kids. You're leaving it to another generation, and now it's their problem. Do you want to guarantee the Chiefs are in KC for the long run, for longer than 20 years? This is the move you make, and it is again. You go to the hospital. You could have. You got a finger that needs to be amputated. You can leave it on for a little bit, but you know it's got to go at some point. Do you just get it done now and start the rebuilding, the process of moving on? Or do you try and hang on for you to have 5 figures? I don't, that's a horrible analogy, but like that's what you're ripping the Band-Aid off now for a decision that I think you'd have to make down the road, and now the kids are making it, no longer Clark Hunt.
Yeah, I mean it's like with the surgery comparison there of would you rather if it was amputation or you keep having surgery over and over again to just keep your leg intact, for lack of a better term.
But it doesn't. But your legs, it's hurting.
It's still hurting.
It's painful,
and it's never going to be what it once was. I feel that's the murky part of all of this. Was it likely they were just going to stay at Arrowhead where they are right now and continue to renovate it? I'll be honest that when it was last year at some point when those renderings came out of this new, like if they were going to renovate Arrowhead Stadium, there's this. Was there a bridge, I think, involved?
There was a bridge in an activation zone.
An activation zone. It was, to me, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That does not sound appealing to me. And I was indifferent on whether it be the Missouri side or the Kansas side. I'm like, just not this. That's what I would rather not have this. Because if you are going to build a brand new stadium, a shiny stadium, you want it to be very attractive, not just to your own fans, but for people coming in to other committees when they're picking where a Final Four site's going to be, when they're picking where a Super Bowl is going to be. You want to have that look to you. You want to have, top tier infrastructure. You want to have a top tier fan experience. I go back to 2 years ago. I'd never been to Candlestick. I've talked to people around this office about going to Candlestick when the Niners were there, and now they're in Santa Clara. Now I've been to that stadium. It is a beautiful stadium. The inside of it's cool. The fan atmosphere is great. And I wonder, back then when, they moved from Candlestick, now it was cold as hell for those games with the wind coming in, and I'm sure they're freezing their ass off all the time. But when they moved to Santa Clara, it was like, how many people said, absolutely, love it, love that area, love moving from Candlestick, and they probably felt that there was this iconic football stadium, and it hosted multiple events, multiple sports, but you have that and you're moving them to Santa Clara, where now when we go and you play the Niners, how many people go, well, they're somewhere in San Francisco? No, they're in Santa Clara. It's not far, but it's that different feel, different area, different energy. And I guess people would be surprised at how many teams are located elsewhere from what their name says. The unfortunate part now is it's confusing to everybody of for years saying Kansas City, Missouri, and people going, oh, you're not in Kansas anymore. And now you're going to have to recorrect people all over again.
Who's going to make the first shirt that says you're not in Missouri anymore?
Somebody on the Kansas side.
Probably me.
Yeah.
TM, trademark. We'll take a break. We'll come back. I do want to talk about the Thursday night or the Monday night football game that happened last night. San Fran putting up 48 points on the Colts. Phillip Rivers at age 44 doing things that we wish Chiefs backups could do. We'll take a break. Come back. The Zone Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, we're getting closer and closer to that Christmas Day game with the Chiefs. And you know what, Missouri, your moment, it's finally here. Not only getting the Christmas Day game at home, we've seen that before, but you haven't seen it before with DraftKings Sportsbook being live in your state, and that's what's happening on Thursday. It's been going on. America's top-rated sportsbook app is live in Missouri, and now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone. All safe, secure, and easy to use. And Missouri fans, you know about the game day, certainly Thursday. Try to have as much fun as possible, but the tailgate, The noise, the passion, and now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense, just pure action. Powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 810WHB. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Welcome back to the Zone, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, Jack Johnson. Braden Gall joins at 11. Going to talk some college football with Braden. Myron Metcalf of ESPN at noon talking college basketball. Then Todd Lebo at 1 playing some fact or fiction. Our fantasy football wrapped up yesterday, which I'm cool with. So that way guys aren't sitting out. I'm fine with it. The reason why I say this is last place has to caddy for us. And I feel like that's a good punishment for getting last place. I think they can drink.
No, then there's no punishment whatsoever. I can't play golf. That's... Do I have to walk, though?
You got to walk.
It's 18 or 9.
18.
So I can ride in the car?
You can't ride in the car. You got to walk.
Well, obviously up to certain shots, but I don't walk. Oh, you got to walk the whole way.
You got to carry our clubs.
Well, if you got the cart, you can put them in the back. And
We're making you...
Okay, so that makes more sense now.
Making you walk, carry the bag.
I was going to say.
And I can't remember if we said you have to wear, like, the Masters uniform. I think we have to, like, the
Yeah,
jumpsuit.
Now it's becoming more of a punishment than originally. I thought it was, you get close to the green, I got to walk up, carry your clubs for you.
No,
you got to ride in the cart
I'm talking
80% of the time.
I'm talking full on. You got a caddy. I'm going to pick the hilliest course.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm glad. That's why I don't get last. Got third. Proud of myself. Worst team I've ever had in my life. So, yeah, shout out to Jansen. You got a caddy, pal. Have fun. Get those shoulders strong.
Depends on what day you pick, too. Is this going to take place...
I don't know.
In spring, where it might be a little chilly, a little windy.
I guess we haven't...
Dead of summer. It's 102 degrees, and that might be dangerous.
Yeah, but we're dangerous people.
Walking 18, carrying all the clubs.
We'll give them water.
So carrying everybody's?
That I don't think...
Or just the winners?
I don't know if we got to that point yet. All we know is we just said caddy, so I think there's some room for decisions.
That's
all
fair.
we said was caddy, and we'd all agreed to it. So, if he has to carry 9 other people's bags, 10 people in the league, I don't know how that's going to work. Better make it work.
I'm going to have to take a week off.
He has to caddy for every single one of us at least one time. That might be the right move. Don't get last. 49ers beat the Colts 48-27. Brock Purdy, electric. Christian McCaffrey, solid. The Colts, interesting. Early on in that game, Phillip Rivers was dealing, played some really good football, and then a special teams miscue led to a touchdown, pick 6, and the Colts end up falling. The score looks a lot worse than maybe it was. But let's stick with the Colt side and how it translates to Kansas City real quick. A 44-year-old quarterback hasn't played in 5 years. He's hefty now, built like the Michelin Man, can't move, and diced up San Fran's defense. Like, I get Gardner Minshew got injured early. I get Chris Oladokun was on the practice squad. But, like, Phillip Rivers wasn't even on a practice squad. He was coaching his kid's team. He's 44.
Do you think in the meantime, like leading up to that practice squad signing and then elevation, that he was working out, throwing the football? Or do you think it was only during practice for those kids that he was slinging around a little bit?
That's a great call, and I have no idea. I doubt he was, like,
because
working
he
out,
can do
working
this
out. Yeah.
Without any preparation, get elevated and start 2 games and look better than, 25 to 30% of the league? He might get my Hall of Fame vote.
This helps his Hall of Fame vote, guaranteed, in my opinion.
I might put him in there just because he doesn't have to win a single game the rest of the way. I'm sorry. At 44 years old, with the shape he looks in, it's like the uncle at Thanksgiving, just out there slinging the pigskin, built like that. He's giving hope for all of us out there.
I think
You
I
do
can,
not need to be in peak shape.
that you might not like it, but that is peak male performance right
It
now.
I was
is.
going to say, that is peak male
It's
performance.
like Bartolo Colon a little bit, but on a much lesser scale.
Yeah.
Much lesser. I think Phillip Rivers is still athletic.
Do you just call Phillip Rivers Bartolo Colon?
No, but in terms of how we view him in the sport, it's like, look at him do that.
Is
It's
he the
giving hope
Bar-
for all of us out there.
He's the Bartolo Colon of the NFL.
I think so.
Is
Because
that-
Bartolo also, that the year where everybody just turned him into a circus show. He was great, but it was like he just showed up for doing funny things, like
Yeah.
flipping the ball behind his back, hitting the home run, swinging and his helmet flying off. It's like, that's what we're doing with Phillip Rivers anytime he does something cool.
I'm just impressed and sad that this is what happens. Like, I know we want the Chiefs to lose the last 2 games. I get that because draft position, all of that. But when you see the Colts put up 27 points, I get it. They lost 48-27, okay? But the point still remains the first, half?
They were competitive.
Very competitive the first half. And that was including a massive special teams miscue that led to a touchdown. Right? That was the special teams. Ball gets knocked off on the kick return, led to a touchdown. This is where, and by the way, I think both teams, this is kind of my overarching takeaway. This is coaching. This is scheme. Because Brock Purdy's not throwing to Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. He's throwing to Jawan Jennings as his wide receiver 1, Kendrick Bourne, and DeMarcus Robinson and Sky Moore. George Kittle obviously was great in this one. George Kittle was phenomenal. Yeah, he has Christian McCaffrey. Okay? I'm not denying that Kittle and McCaffrey are game changers. But strict wide receivers. Jawan Jennings, Kendrick Bourne, DeMarcus Robinson, Sky Moore. This is scheme. When you look at the Colts, with 44-year-old Phillip Rivers putting up 27 points, and again, the first half, very competitive, putting up 17. This is scheme. Jonathan Taylor was doing nothing on the ground. 46 yards, 16 carries. But they found ways to get the ball to Alec Pierce and Josh Downs. This is scheme. So this is kind of my overarching takeaway, and this has been the point I've been trying to make for really this entire season. When people, and we asked this question yesterday, Jack, who's to blame? Is it Veach? Is it coaching? Is it players? Everyone obviously gets some of the blame. And I love Andy, and I'm not saying fire Andy. But the point I'm making is this year, the scheme deserves the majority of the blame. And after watching last night, to me, that emphasized that point.
Absolutely. I do believe it comes down to the health of the offensive line as well, but a lot of this is scheme. I've raved about Kyle Shanahan before. You can knock him for losing in the Super Bowl twice to Kansas City, but how much of that was he didn't have Patrick Mahomes, right?
Garoppolo and
Brock Purdy. And in both those games, they absolutely had a better than 50% chance to win it. I mean, in both of those Super Bowls, the Niners just had to put away the Chiefs with maybe one more effective offensive drive. But there is the limitations to those teams, right? You can be great in the regular season, you can look like this, and then never win a Super Bowl, but we can also credit the scheming of it. The way Kyle Shanahan makes Brock Purdy look a Mr. Irrelevant pick, the final pick in the draft, that he looks like this, that he started multiple years for them, that he's gotten to a Super Bowl, that shows you how great the coaching is. Shane Steichen, I mean, come on now. I don't care if the Colts had the number 1 offensive line in the NFL or not. He took a 44-year-old quarterback who had not thrown an NFL pass in 5 years. And if you look at the box score today, you'd think this is a stat line from Phillip Rivers in 2020 or in 2019. It's like there is nothing that would indicate he's 44.
Looks great, but he did throw a pick.
He did throw a pick, but he's still got multiple touchdown passes. It was a blowout loss, which happened a time or two when he was with the Chargers and with the Colts before this. But that shows you what some of the younger coaches are doing. Kyle Shanahan's been around for a while. Shane Steichen now in his first couple of years as an NFL head coach. But this is what's happening in the NFL. You are seeing some of these really bright, head coaches, these young head coaches, finding new ways to create an offense, to be explosive. Ben Johnson in Chicago. I mean, I didn't think it was going to work this well in year one. And the Bears have a, what would you say, north of 15% chance of getting to the Super Bowl. They're not my favorite by any means.
Sure.
But you catch fire at the right time. I'm done looking at them as I usually have in the past with the Bears. I'm done viewing them through that lens. I feel that when you have a bright young head coach that's offensive minded, like Shanahan is, like Steichen is, like Ben Johnson is, you can make the most out of what you have. And here in Kansas City with Andy Reid, let's be honest here, Andy Reid is known and will go down as one of the greatest offensive minds the sport has ever seen. But sometimes when you are more of the old school, you're not going to change your ways. You brought up how this offense is still trying to replicate the 2022 offense. There's not much change there, and maybe that is a bit of the stubbornness of when it's worked so well for years. You don't want to change. Isn't that been the theme of our show? You're reluctant to change, where these younger guys, they know they have to plan around the quarterback they have, but they're scheming them flawlessly, it feels like. I mean, the Niners, yes, they had the pick six. There was a special teams gaffe. Nearly 50 points. How many times could Brock Purdy do that anywhere else in the NFL? Like 50 points with Jawan Jennings as your number one, Kendrick Bourne is your number two, and then two former Chiefs receivers in Sky Moore and Demarcus Robinson. Nearly 50 points. When was the last time the Chiefs got over 40? It's certainly not been the last 2 years, unless I'm blanking on a game. It had to have been 2023.
We got one last year. I'm trying to think.
Was it last year
call.
at some point? I can't really remember, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. But, like, there's been a couple of teams this year that can put up north of 40. Hell, even get over 50 at some point. And this Chiefs offense still has the playmakers on it, but it's a little bit of needing that explosive running game. You need to have a threat out of the backfield. You need to have, a healthy offensive line, someone that's out of your control, of course. But I believe it's being inventive, finding new ways to move the football. And my last point on this, stop being so damn cute. How many of these teams try to be cute in some of those spots? I don't believe they are. They'll have their trickery. They'll have their end around or whatever. But, man, am I done with we're doing a little hula hoop spin and, putting a fullback in at the quarterback position and they're lining up in the three-point stance. Like, when you're hanging 45 on teams, you can go back to that. But I'm done with the cuteness in the red zone or when you're trying to pick up a yard. Some of those teams, they just scheme and draw up the right play, and they can make a 2-yard gain turn into a 25-yard gain.
23 against the Bears.
That was
okay,
my guess.
and that was what, week 3?
Yeah, that was very early on. So, good call. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More Zone Sports Radio 810 WHB. FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State. They are kicking things off with an incredible offer because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Last night, good night for me. Fun night for me. Probably should have given these out on air, but I'm nervous now because the Sterling Stamp's been absolute buns, so I stopped doing it, and now I'm winning. Last night, I thought that the line of 5.5 for San Fran, vastly too low. I took that and parlayed it with the Christian McCaffrey to score 1 touchdown. Well, that's easy money. I was like, this is silly talk. We nailed it. And by the way, a great thing on FanDuel, live betting. Live betting, because what happened when the Colts went up 7-0? Did you know what I did? I went and ripped San Fran minus the points yet again. I doubled down. That's the double down, baby. I did the double down. I did it right there on FanDuel. So you can do that even live. And they have great profit boosts. They have great stuff all holiday season long as well. Again, this is such a great, phenomenal app. It's all safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to join the excitement. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game with FanDuel.
21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Thank you to Jack Johnson. We'll be joined by Braden Gall, 440 Sports, coming up next. Going to talk some college football with him. Myron Metcalf, who'll join us at noon, talking college basketball with him. Todd Lebo joins at 1. We'll hear from the Chiefs as well. I'll hear from Quentin Lucas a little later on in the show, so it is a packed show. Real quick, I got one of my favorite texts of all time. I grew up right next to where the proposed Royal Stadium wants to go to. Very, very close. My friend just texted me and goes, "So boys, if they move there, are we all just going to start pre-gaming at the field?" And it takes you back. Did everyone growing up have a field they went to? It's like Sandlot. Did everyone have a field?
Absolutely.
I feel like everyone had a field, so I'm thrilled. We're going to go back to the field. Braden Gall coming up next. Welcome to the Zone, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, Braden Gall joins us shortly. Going to talk some college football playoffs with Braden in the next about 7-ish minutes. I want to talk to him about the games that transpired, as well as I think this will be, let me check the old calendar real quick. Will we talk to him before the next round of games? We probably will. I'll give some initial thoughts on those games. I do have a fun tradition on the quarterfinals, New Year's Day. Me and some guys go and we smoke cigars and watch football. That's a good tradition.
That's an amazing tradition. Honestly, there's no better way to start off the new year than by doing that.
Well, I always say, every New Year, everyone has these New Year's resolutions of like, go to the gym, eat healthier. And I'm like, okay, sure. That takes a lot of creativity. My goal? Smoke more cigars.
Smoking and drinking.
Work out less. Eat more unhealthy. Like, these are my goals. That takes courage. That takes strength. And that takes the ability to be honest. That I'm not going to go and do all these healthy things. I'm not going to do it. So I'm not going to lie to you and say I am. Okay?
What percentage of people lie about their New Year's resolution?
95% easy. Probably closer to 98. I bet there's 2% that do.
But even the 2% that do, you have to think, are they fully doing their New Year's resolution? Because too many people get way too over-aggressive when it comes to what they're going to resolve.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Always.
like, I'm gonna do this and this and this, and it's like, okay, well then one thing falls apart. It's like a parlay. Once the first leg falls, it's all done.
Then you're done. Yeah, you get 9 things. Well, if the first one's done, you're like, well, I'm not doing the other 8. Screw that.
Already lost.
I'm already out. What am I doing? Why would I do the other 8? I like Creed from The Office, do a cartwheel. Then I can do a cartwheel on day 1, and then I'm done for the rest of the year. I've done my New Year's resolution.
You got not only 1% better, you got probably 10% better that day.
That's all I'm saying. So yeah, that's going to be my New Year's resolution, to smoke more cigars. Seems like drink more neutrals and cutwaters. Go to back 9 golf. That's a good one. Go to back 9 golf and get my swing right. You know what? There's my real New Year's resolution. Go to the back 9 golf, and I'm gonna get my swing right for next year. Got to get the handicap a little lower. I don't know. I like it where it's at because it's good for winning money, but it's not great for when I have to tell people what your handicap. I'm like, it's gone up. It's gone up.
I got to check that place out. I've never swung a golf club. That's not like mini golf. So back 9 might be the
hopefully you're not
place.
swinging your golf club at mini golf.
No.
That would be if you're swinging a golf club at mini golf. I have many questions.
My touch is not great in mini golf.
Huh. I would have thought you'd have just...
No, it's really bad, actually.
All right, before we bring on Braden, just general NFL outlook and overlook here. Some more teams clinched playoff spots. Jacksonville clinched. I know Buffalo officially clinched. I thought there was one more that clinched yesterday, too. Was it the Rams? Playoff are starting to get a little more clear. But yet it feels more wide open than in any year in the past. Eagles in the NFC they've been the team. San Fran has been that for a little bit too. But in the AFC, the Patriots, the Bills, Jacksonville, Denver Chargers, and you're going to either get Pittsburgh or the Ravens. It's going to be Pittsburgh, barring a ridiculous collapse, and also the Ravens have to go on a run, which we don't see, especially without Lamar Jackson, more than likely with the back contusion. And then that leaves Houston or Indy, which more than likely it's going to be Houston. Indy really needed a win last night. They couldn't quite get it done with 44-year-old old man Rivers. So then you have Houston. This is the most wide open the AFC has felt in 7 years. No Chiefs, no Ravens, no Bengals. You have the Bills, and then a whole lot of teams with a lot of opportunity here.
I think that's the difference between the AFC and the NFC this year. The NFC is still a lot of the same faces. Maybe, with the addition of the Bears, but you still have the Rams and the Packers and, I guess the Lions are on the outside looking in. But a lot of the same teams that have been in the NFC playoff picture, the Eagles, are going to be there. The AFC, it's a bunch of new faces, whether it's the Patriots, the Broncos are the number 1 seed in the AFC right now. Jacksonville looks good. I mean, this is the first year in I don't know how long where the only AFC quarterback out of Lamar, Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow, that only one of those guys is going to make the playoffs. That's a much different picture, and honestly, I enjoy it. I think it's going to be a really good, entertaining playoff, but I'm not really sure who's going to emerge out of the AFC.
So as a Chiefs fan, obviously, I sit here and I'm bummed the Chiefs are not in the playoffs. But as a NFL fan, I love the chaos that feels like it is about to ensue. That part feels enjoyable to me. And again, you look around and you look at the pressure that is on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. This has to be their year. If the Bills do not get it done this year, if not now, then when? If not now with Sean McDermott, then when or with whom? Because New England is now back in that picture. The Patriots are now back in they're not the front runner. They might still win the 1 seed. But with Drake May at the helm, yeah, it's not what it once was with Tom Brady. But New England looks like they are at least a contender in the AFC East. We're going to talk about that a little later on. Time now to talk some college football. Braden Gall of 440 Sports. Braden, how are you?
I'm doing well. Happy holidays.
How
you doing?
You too. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Any fun plans for the holidays?
Hopefully nothing is the goal. To do nothing. No work, no radio shows, no, just nothing. The idea is to spend some couple days in a row with my kids and hope that I still love them when we're done.
You sounded like Office Space right there. What do you want to do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No, look. If you have to work in media in 2025 and you have not spent at least some of the year thinking about what it would be like to go outside and break rocks for a living, I don't think you're doing media correctly.
I think it's a pretty good call. That's a good call, Braden. I want to talk some college football with you, obviously. Let's start with the overarching theme, which I think a lot of folks had, which was the 11 and 12 seed, James Madison, Tulane, the group of 5 getting waxed in the first round. I have my thoughts, but I don't want to sully your thoughts with them. Give me your thoughts first on the group of 5 being dominated in the first round.
Yes, as many people have referred to my thoughts as the unsullied many times in the past. No, I actually don't think that's a big story personally. I know it's a big story with a lot of casual fans. I think the group of 5 has to be included in the playoff in some form or fashion. It's better for the sport. It makes the sport healthier. It makes the regular season better. It keeps more teams interested. All the same reasons we've been using this all along. And just because they got blown out doesn't mean that they didn't belong. Look at all the teams that did belong in the 14 playoff that weren't group of 5 teams. They got blown out. I think the first round of the 12-team playoff this year in particular kind of gave us exactly what I think it was supposed to give us. It was supposed to give us maybe a minor road upset. It was supposed to give us some big power conference teams battling each other. It was supposed to give us probably a group of 5 team that is one of the best group of 5 teams, if not the best, getting an opportunity to upset somebody. It didn't happen. It gave us special teams are now amplified in this sport. It's so much more important. We saw coaching adjustments become bigger deals. Being in the laboratory, creating wrinkles for your team, that's a bigger deal like it's been in the NFL for years. Health and depth is now a major issue in question with Ole Miss, with their backfield, which is something which is new with the expanded playoff. I think you can keep going. Weather conditions were a factor. That's never been a factor in the bowl season, in the bowl system ever, because of these soulless parking lots that they play these games in. It gave us 4 really great matchups of eight really good teams, with 4-point spreads in the single digits when the matchups got made. I mean, it's kind of everything that I think you should have expected as a fan of college football when they expanded to 12. It's no system is perfect, and so I think it's kind of what we should expect from an expanded playoff.
Yeah, I think, again, just a little bit on the group of five aspect of this, I was fine with it because I think they deserve to get in, or else why would they even play the games, or else you might as well just have it be the SEC versus Big Ten. And so I was actually okay. Again, we probably thought this was going to be the outcome, but they deserved the chance. And by the way, in any given year, normally only Tulane is getting in, not both Tulane and James Madison, is because the ACC had such a poor season with Duke winning the conference. That's on the ACC more than anything else. And by the way,
exactly.
Do we think that Duke or Virginia would have given up a better fight against Oregon? Because I don't think so.
I think they do, but I think it's negligible, and I think that's ultimately your point. And I agree, it's not a group of five problem; it's an ACC problem.
Which
if they had Miami playing Virginia, and the winner gets an automatic bid, I think that's a far more reasonable tournament. And the AAC made sure that was in their bylaws, right? Like they had a fail-safe in place so that, in case this were to happen, the highest-rated teams go to as a tiebreaker, the highest-rated teams go to the playoff, go to the championship game. Like the ACC could have done this better. And we would have a better playoff, and James Madison, unfortunately for James Madison, would not have gotten in, and we would have had a better game. So it's not the group of five's fault that the process worked. You know what I mean? Like, it's the ACC's fault that they didn't put the fail-safe in place, and then it would have been Miami versus Virginia, and the winner would have gotten in. Like, that's absolutely how you should be looking at this.
And so, Braden, when we look at this again going forward, I think a takeaway I have, and maybe it's unfair, but if they are going to eventually revamp some of those regulations, if you are the Big Ten, if you are the SEC, how bad is this for the ACC? Because they're probably just sitting here going, well, why would we let the ACC have a automatic bid or even two going forward when they can't even have a legitimate conference champion be ahead of Tulane or James Madison? Now, they would push back and say, will Miami beat Texas A&M, which I think is a very valid point. But again, I still think if you were the SEC and Big Ten, you're sitting here maybe trying to squeeze out the ACC as one of those Power Four conferences.
So I'll tell you what I think. Like, I'll tell you what I want to see happen, and then I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I would love to see it be, and I can solve a bunch of problems all at one time. But of course, no one's asking me except for you, which is cool.
I'm asking you, Braden.
It needs to be 20 teams, and I know that sounds crazy. Let me finish before I say it. It needs to be 20 teams. Teams 13 through 20 there need to be 4 play-in games on Championship Saturday. 13 plays 20, 14 plays 19. You know what I'm saying? Have them be seeded. I've done the math every year dating back to the start of the playoff in 2014. Almost every year you have at least 2 group of 5 teams in that, sometimes 3, sometimes 1, but then you don't need to put it in writing. You just say the top 20 teams. You have 4, maybe there's 4 automatic bids in the 4 power conferences if you want to do that, which I think is what's going to happen. It's going to expand to 16. So how do we make Championship Saturday valuable and interesting? How do we include the group of 5 without sort of like diluting the playoff product? And how do we kind of include the whole country? Well, again, by the way, you got enough money to pay these athletes for an extra game. It's not a problem. Yeah, it's a little bit more risky health-wise, but so pay them. That's what America's all about, right? Oh, you're going to incur some risk? We're going to pay you for that risk. That's called capitalism. So that's the easiest and most interesting and fun way to do it for me as a fan, because I think the desperation of those 4 games all across the country, ideally on home sites, but all across the country, would be just absolutely fascinating theater on that final Saturday. What's going to happen is it's going to expand to 16 because there's contract language that says it's going to, because they can incur more revenue if they do that. So it's going to expand to 16. There's going to be 4 automatic bids for the 4 power conference teams, and then you're going to have teams. Basically, the other highest-ranking 12 teams are going to get in. That's what's going to happen. And whenever that does happen, it will include the ACC, because the ACC is still significantly better conference, on average, in general, than every Group of 5 league, period. It's not close. So, like, they're not going to squeeze out the ACC, at least for this round of expansion. Now, they're going to revisit all of this in 2030, 2031, and until we have, and this is going to sound super redundant and cliche, and everyone will have said, yeah, we heard this, until there's a centralized governing body and a breakaway that includes a number of teams, 40, 45, or 50, we're never going to have even schedules. These conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC namely, are not going to give up power to a commissioner, even though they should. And until that happens, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be herding cats, and it's going to constantly be changing and evolving. And I think it's going to go 16 with 4 automatic qualifiers. The next 12 teams are going to get in, and that probably includes a group of 5 team most years. Some years it might not, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I have a hot take, which is hilarious because I'm normally someone who loves ripping on the NCAA and just in general, just ripping on a lot of things. I think the 12-team playoff is about perfect. Like, I know it's not perfect necessarily of the teams that get in, but as far as the actual setup and layout, I love the 12-team playoff. I love the 4 teams, the top 4 get a bye. I love that there's a group of 5 team every year guaranteed to make it in. I love the fact that the first round, there are home games. Like, I've made the case that I think it's better to be the number 5 seed than the number 4 seed. I know it's hilarious because that means you have to play an extra game, but it also means that for your fans, you get to play a home game. You get the revenue. Yeah. That is so badass. As a Mizzou fan, I don't have to really worry about this because it's never going to happen. But, like, as a Mizzou fan,
oh, I disagree.
How amazing would it be to host a home playoff game? It would be electric. Faroe would be rocking. That would be like my dream, Braden, would be that. So,
well, I agree with your basic point, honestly. I think the major flaw in the system is the next 2 rounds are going to be at soulless parking lots all across the country and at bowl sites. I mean, that's a major flaw for this round coming up. Like, why is Oregon and Texas Tech playing in Miami? That's just a stupid thing. But it's 4 great games, and if they were on campus sites, I agree they'd be even better. And I agree with your point about the 5 seed. Like, now I disagree with your Missouri take, though. I'll be the Missouri stand here for a second, which is if Indiana can do it, Ole Miss can do it, and Texas Tech can do it, anybody can do it. So you got to get the right coaches, you got to have the right investment, you got to find the right players, and things got to come together, and you got to be great. But like if Indiana can be 13-0, number 1, 7-point favorite in the Rose Bowl over Alabama, and everyone think that they legitimately should win. Like, if everyone thinks Ole Miss can upset Georgia on the road, if everyone believes that Texas Tech has a defensive front good enough to make it to the national championship game, like anybody can do anything now in college football.
But Braden, you forget one thing. You forget. I agree with that, but you forget one thing. Missouri's cursed, and so I think you forgot to take that into account.
Well, it's hard to talk to a Packers fan currently about curses after the last 2 Sundays, or Saturday and Sunday. Actually, it was a 6-day period of time in which like everything bad could happen has happened.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
So, no, like everybody feels that way. Like I was raised a Wisconsin fan, and my dad will tell you that he thinks he's cursed, and I'm a Mets fan. I think they're cursed. Like everybody has that if you go long enough in this sport. But the point is, can Missouri get to be ranked number 5, 6, 7, or 8 in the rankings at the end of the season? Absolutely. That's absolutely possible for almost everybody in college football, including a lot of Group of 5 programs. So I just think I think the biggest story, kind of back to our original question, and I think the biggest story about the new playoff is still yet to be written this year, which is all of that stuff I mentioned that has sort of like we should have expected from the playoff. I think the one thing that I didn't necessarily expect all the way, or I was uncertain about, is it giving us, not to go back to this, but the illusion of competition for a national championship, or is there actually an opportunity? And I think Indiana, Texas Tech, and Ole Miss, in particular this year, are only teams that are built and constructed in the modern era with the modern rules. And Oregon, to some degree, kind of fits into that mold, but they've been a really good program in other formats prior to NIL and the portal. So if Texas Tech, Ole Miss, or Indiana wins a national championship, and maybe even if Indiana just gets there, it is a proof of concept about the new rules dispersing talent and making the sport more equitable. And I think that is a totally new chapter in college football that is important to write as far as stories go. And I think Missouri is – why is Indiana better situated than Missouri or anyone else in college football, and they're not.
No, I completely agree. I mean, I have a whole bunch of family from Indiana, and so they're all going crazy right now, and they still try and tell me they're a blue blood in basketball. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think you got passed up for UConn, but at least you have football. You're right.
Football school.
Getting the right head coach makes all the difference, which I guess I don't want to go off on a tangent here, Braden, but do you think Eli is the right guy at Missouri to take him to those heights?
Look, there's a lot of, I don't even know what the right words are with him. The vibes are always a little awkward or weird or off, and I don't mean like around him in person. I just mean like are the contracts being negotiated like everybody else is doing it? Does he think the same as everybody else? Is he like he's just a little different? And sometimes you just need a coach who's like Kurt Cignetti is just a little different. Like he's just a different dude, and so you just kind of need something to be a little different sometimes. I think you cannot argue with the results to this point. Like I just think relative to the like obviously the SEC schedules for Missouri have been relatively light in comparison to some other schools, but like. There's no reason why that he's been a 10-win team already. There's no reason he can't be 10-2, and all it takes is to be 10-2, and that's sort of the beauty of the playoff is to compete for a championship. You needed to be 12-0 or 11-1. You had to be perfect, and that's almost impossible for the vast majority of college football. Do I think Eli Drinkwitz has already proven that he can get to 10-2? So, is it going to happen all the time for Missouri? Probably not. Is it going to happen all the time for most schools? Probably not. But can you jump up and have that special season with the right coach and the right strategy and the right people, and maybe you find a special player or two? You go Texas Tech again, go into their model. Like they just bought an offensive and defensive line, and it happened to work. Do I think you could do that every year? No way. But it happened to work this year, and they play in a conference that it's let's be honest, it's far easier to push around the Big 12 lines of scrimmage week in and week out than it is the SEC or the Big 10. That's just a fact, and they made it work. And so, Indiana and Ole Miss did the same thing. Missouri could do it, and I think Eli Drinkwitz can do it.
Braden Gull of 440 Sports is our guest. On the Big 12, just in general, real quick here, you mentioned, Missouri has to go 10-2, and that is the SEC, and I agree. If they go 10-2, they're in the college football playoffs, at least most likely in most given seasons. BYU, obviously, they had a great year, 11-1. They lose in the college, or in the championship game to Texas Tech. They lose to one team twice, but only to one team, and they get left out. What does that say about the Big 12?
Look, I think their resume is their resume, and you're not always the contents of your resume, and sometimes you are less than your resume, sometimes you're greater than your resume. Look, I think this year in particular, and some of this is a product of conference expansion where you can actually play in a major conference and just not have to play all the best teams. Frankly, Texas A&M didn't have to play any of the best defenses in the SEC, and I think we saw that in the game against Miami. They struggled to figure out what Miami was doing because Miami's defense was so good. They didn't play Georgia. They didn't play Alabama. They lost to Texas, the best defense that they played. So the best two defenses they played, they lost those games this year. So you can kind of get through a schedule, and so not even every Big 12 schedule is accurate. I think we were in a year where we had a lot of really great stories and really good teams, more so than ever before. Again, Vanderbilt, that's an unprecedented story. Indiana's an unprecedented story. Same for Ole Miss. We can keep going. Notre Dame got hosed. I think Notre Dame would be 6 or 7 or 8 in the entire country in my rankings. I would have them ahead of Alabama, Oklahoma, and Miami. Just Vandy in Texas. Texas has shown that they can beat anybody. They're not an elite, unbelievable football team, but they have beaten 3 teams in the top 12 or whatever. So they can play with anybody, and they're a 3-loss team. I just think we had a really great season, and so sometimes that's going to happen. There could be an NFL team this year that's the Lions could get left out. They're a really good football team. It is what it is. Are they worse than the Panthers or the Bucks or the Steelers or the Ravens? Probably not. But those records, because of the schedule and because of the alignment of the sport, which is the same in college, sometimes the alignment can hose you, and I just think that's what happened to Vanderbilt and to some other teams in college football, Notre Dame, et cetera, this year.
When we go back to the thought process of the quarterfinals, you mentioned these soulless parking lots that they shall be playing in. Would you have that round as home teams, or is that too much of an advantage for that second round, because I've gone back and forth with that of I would love to see it, like Brayden, I would love to see it be played at Indiana. That would be badass.
Yeah.
But also part of me is like, man, that's not how. I guess it does work in the NFL like that.
No, that part's wrong. That part of you is wrong. It's just wrong. Sorry, no disrespect. Happy holidays, but it's wrong. Look, I got a crazy idea. Crazy idea. Just go with me on this for just a second. Crazy idea. What if we played college football games in college football stadiums on college campuses on Saturdays?
Okay, Brayden, I'm in. I'm in.
That crazy idea.
You swayed me, man. You swayed me.
Like, what, the whole sport is played. It's a college game played on college campuses on Saturdays. What I don't. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, Arlington is one of the absolute worst possible places to play a college football game. I could not. Like, I can't think of a place that is. Okay, I can't. I take it back. I just went there this year. The Meadowlands. It is one of the absolute most pathetic and disgusting places to watch a football game I've ever been. I went with my whole family. I took my daughter. It is literally a characterless, soulless, concrete and metal building in the middle of a swamp in New Jersey with parking lots as far as the eye can see. No disrespect to Arrowhead. It is so gross. It's a gross. And the World Cup final is going to be played there. GTFOH. It's ridiculous. Play these games in on college campuses in college stadiums on Saturdays. I don't understand. I mean, I do understand, because it's about their golfing buddies and they're outsourcing these massive revenue generators to their golf buddies. That's what's happening, and so that's very frustrating. I'm clearly over it. It's fine.
I'm 1,000% with you, but hey, golf buddies need deals too. Okay, now, because my goal is to be one of said golf buddies. That's my.
Yeah, I got some crypto to sell you.
Okay. Oh, nice. Will you give me a deal, Brayden?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Before I let you go, we'll finish up with a little holiday Christmas action here. Favorite Christmas song or album?
Oh, I mean, man, that's hard. I don't really like Christmas music because I'm a Grinch, apparently, in my house. I do. Dolly is the one that me and the kids play. We love Dolly Parton Christmas. That one's the best one. I'm in Tennessee. It's like contractual. I'm contractually obligated, but like it actually is. It actually is like truly spectacular. I love the Casey Musgraves Christmas album. We got that one. We that one's in regular rotation. A lot of spins for the John Legend Christmas album. My wife plays that one a lot on the player. So those are probably the top three. I think we got. I think there's a Reba in rotation at our house as well.
Ooh, nice.
So we got some old school. We got some new school. We got a little bit of jazz and R&B angle. We got a little bit of country angle. I don't like the traditional stuff. Like, it needs to be like an actual musician or whatever. Like, I don't need just like your basic Christmas music. You know what I'm saying?
I'm 100% with you. Check out "Socks," the album by J.D. McPherson. That's a good one.
I've seen J.D. McPherson twice.
Oh, same. Yeah,
I got a North Side girl for sure.
Oh my gosh, you're my lucky penny, Brayden. I did not think we'd be talking.
Don't say that again. Just please don't say that.
Well, okay. Well, fine. Sorry.
Look, it's all over. It's all over, but the shouting, man. Okay,
dude. He's got a great Christmas album. It's great. Or I'll throw on some James Brown. James Brown, "A Funky Christmas" is always going to get me going. And then final question, Brayden. What age do socks become a good gift?
Like as the giver of the gift?
As a receiver of the gift.
I would say like if they're like got a lot of like I like funky socks, so I've been getting funky socks for a long time. I'd say like late 20s is probably when I started getting, but like not just like socks. Like they need to be funky, they need to be fun, they need to be colorful, have some personality. Like that's when I started enjoying getting socks. It was probably like late 20s, early 30s, probably. My kids get socks because they run out of all of their like soccer and softball gear like so fast. There's just holes and dirt and stains, and it's like they get all kinds of that kind of stuff in their stockings, or it's like, we're just training them for middle age is what we're doing, actually.
It's a smart move because I'm 31, and I remember I asked for socks this year. My parents were like, "What do you want?" I'm like, I would love some just white socks. Just need some socks. And that's when I know, Braden, I'm becoming an old man. Braden Gall of 440 Sports. Braden Gall, 440 Sports. Great take, besides the Notre Dame take, but I'm with you on the college football playoff. Get the rounds played in college campuses. You swayed me. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Have a good one.
Have you injured yourself sleeping? That's the real question about age, being old. Like if you go to bed healthy and you wake up questionable with like an ankle injury and it happened in your sleep, that's when you know you're getting old.
Slept in my neck wrong last night, Braden. You're talking to the right man.
Yep, there we go. Best of luck with your old age, my guy.
Appreciate it. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More Zone, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome to the Zone, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. Appreciate Braden Gall, talking some college football with him. I'm all in. I thought originally, I was like, second round, maybe keep the neutral sites. But the more I think about it, they don't do that in the NFL, right? I mean, the AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, those aren't neutral. Super Bowl is. I'm totally fine for the final game being a neutral site. But, yeah, let the college football games be played at college campuses. That is way more fun. Because, again, my point now is I think being the 5 seed is almost better than being the 4 seed. You at least get a home game. It's awesome. What we're going to do is we are going to hear from Mayor Quentin Lucas. This was his intro yesterday just in regards to the Chiefs announcing they'll be moving to the Kansas side.
Good afternoon. I received a call earlier today from Kansas City Chiefs President Mark Donovan informing me that the Chiefs currently intend to leave Arrowhead Stadium upon the end of their lease with Jackson County following the 2030 season. Shortly thereafter, I received a very gracious call from Kansas Governor Laura Kelly informing me of the same. I also have spoken this afternoon with Governor Mike Kehoe and Jackson County Executive Phil Lavoda concerning both the Kansas City Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals. While the teams are tenants of Jackson County, Kansas City government has worked hard, along with the state of Missouri and our new county administrative team, to put before the Chiefs a compelling offer of more than $1.5 billion in public support for the Chiefs to remain at their legendary home at Arrowhead Stadium. One city or one county cannot outmatch competing offers from a state in modern professional sports, and our collaboration with our Missouri partners has been essential. Although our conversations with the team extended to as recently as late last week, we understand that our very fair and very responsible financial offer of taxpayer support was surpassed thus far by an even more robust public financing package in Kansas. We are professionals and understand the Chiefs have a business to run, and today that the Chiefs made a business decision. We wish them well as they pursue their legislative and administrative steps ahead in Kansas, but remain committed to ensuring Arrowhead Stadium, Missouri, Jackson County, and Kansas City remain an option should the deal not conclude. In the event a new Kansas-based facility is built, we will wish them great success in their new suburban home. While I had my serious differences on this issue with former Jackson County Executive Frank White, and wish the processes and obstacles in 2023 and early 2024 could have proceeded differently, I, along with the governor, the county executive, city administrative staff, and other officials, have worked collaboratively and nonstop over the past year to provide a fair and robust offer for the teams, exceeding almost all prior pledges of public support in National Football League markets. Our unified, hard-working, and exceptional team will continue our strong efforts as we work to retain the Kansas City Royals in a transformational downtown facility. Great cities hold great venues, which provide not only revenue benefits, but also employ thousands, expose residents and visitors alike to new areas and businesses, and provide brand and cultural benefit to key parts of our community. While the Chiefs aren't going far away and aren't gone yet, today is a setback as a Kansas Citian, as a former Chiefs season ticket holder, and as a lifelong Chiefs fan. Today is a loss for the communities of East Kansas City, Independence, Raytown, and some of our favorite places en route to the stadiums, like LC's Barbecue. Today is a loss for the Arrowhead tradition that so many of us in the Chiefs Kingdom hold dear. At the new location, folks will make new memories. But for those of us who remember the painful days, like 3 missed field goals as a playoff 1 seed, and the joyous ones, like hoisting the Lamar Hunt Trophy for that first time at Arrowhead Stadium in 2020. Years growing up and growing old in the Arrowhead parking lot, and the outdoor stands that in the elements were one of the few places in our community where we came together, breaking through divides of age, hometowns, race, income, and politics. This will be a tough adjustment. I wanted my 2 young sons and your children and your grandchildren to get to experience that same Arrowhead experience. Years ago as a kid, my family was homeless for a while, and we lived in a motel not too far from the stadium. I knew we struggled, but I believed nothing was cooler than living within a stone's throw of what I thought then and think today is the greatest stadium in football. Like a lot of parents in Chiefs Kingdom, my single mother scraped some money together to get me to Arrowhead Stadium for my first game. 300 level upper deck for a 30-7 preseason loss against the Buffalo Bills in 1993. I've been hooked ever since. Business decisions are a reality, and we all understand that. But Arrowhead Stadium is more. It's family, it's tradition, and it's a part of Kansas City that we will never leave.
That was Mayor Quentin Lucas yesterday afternoon/evening in regards to the news of the Chiefs moving from Kansas City, Missouri to the Kansas side. That was his intro right there. He went on to talk about Frank White a little bit and the legacy he is going to have, and I just thought it was it was interesting. So here is Mayor Quentin Lucas in regards to the legacy, the question he was asked in regards to Frank White.
Do you feel like Frank White, this is his lasting legacy, is moving the Chiefs to Kansas?
I think Frank White's going to have a legacy of a great baseball player in Kansas City, and I think it'll come back to that. I think there will be a lot of discussions and probably after actions about what happened with these teams. Why did they go on the ballot together? Why did all the separate things happen along the way? And I certainly wish we could replay a lot of those steps. That being said, we're looking forward now. Forward for us is making sure that we continue to have good but responsible conversations with the Kansas City Royals. Because the other thing that I didn't hear, and I watched the press conference in Kansas, and I watched further discussions after that, a redirection of taxpayer funds are still redirections of taxpayer funds. We need to make sure that while we are responsible, we also are competitive. And I think what Kansas City finds itself in right now is making sure that it stays competitive, whether it's with neighbors across the street or around the world. It's disappointing sometimes that you have to fight those border war battles. And, you know, listening to this, everybody was saying there's all this new, these changes. The Chiefs have been here in the Kansas City area. They've been part of the Kansas City area. I think that, frankly, we are talking about continuing traditions, perhaps, but we need to find a way long-term in Kansas City to grow the pie, to make sure that we're actually building something new and dynamic for our metro, not jumping back and forth, which I think this will help accelerate.
I think the most interesting part of that was the beginning. How's Frank White going to be viewed? Is this it? He'll be viewed as a great baseball player.
Because that's what everybody thinks of Frank White right now.
I think that's pretty telling in regards to the thoughts of how this went down. We'll take a break. We'll come back to start the noon hour. We'll talk with Myron Metcalf of ESPN talking some college basketball. We'll hear from Andy Reid a little later on in the show, as well as from Chris Oladokin, Matt Nagy, and Chris Jones. This is The Zone, Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Missouri, your moment, it's finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, it's live in your state. And now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. The college football playoffs, round one, done. The Chiefs, 2 more games to go. Christmas right around the corner with that, having a little fun with DraftKings. And Missouri fans, no game day, the tailgate, the noise, the passion. And now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense, just pure action. Powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. New Missouri customers, bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 810WHB. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Welcome back to the Zone Sports Radio 810 WHB. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy going to be joined by Myron Metcalf of ESPN, talking college basketball with him in just a little bit. We'll also hear from Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, Chris Jones, and who else? Oh, Chris Oladokin, the new starting quarterback for your Kansas City Chiefs, Chris Oladokin. Hey, you know what? I'll give him this. He looked better than Gardner.
It's going to be Christmas Oladokun.
We'll take a break. Man, I
didn't like that one?
I loved that one, and that's why. I'm mad that I didn't think of it first. Full transparency, that was good. Why do we need Jason here when we have you to make these bad puns?
I can make the bad puns all day long.
Thoughts on Kansas waxing Davidson last night?
To be expected. To be expected. It was a great atmosphere at Allen Fieldhouse. I wasn't there, but I tried to get home through that traffic, and it was not fun.
Thoughts on Darren Peterson?
I have no idea what's going on with him. His family's saying one thing, Bill Self's agreeing with him that he shouldn't play unless he's fully healthy. If he's not going to play until he's fully healthy, he's just never going to play.
My thought is, and we'll talk a little more with Myron Metcalf on the other side about it. You don't need him against Davidson.
It's conference play. That's the important thing.
You need him for even some of the games in conference. You need him for the big games. Like, I know no one wants to hear it, but, like, it's almost a gun for hire. And by the way, I remember when Michael Porter Jr., which I feel bad, like, he tried coming back and we had the back injury, and that did drop him down draft boards. Now, the injury played a massive role in that. But also, when he came back and played, he wasn't really good.
It was consistent that it was a back issue. We've gotten hamstrings, cramps. Very weird.
True. There's a lot of unknowns. But you had 6 guys in double figures for Kansas. I mean, Kansas looks good. Look good. Myron Metcalf next. Welcome back to the Zone, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, joined now by Myron Metcalf of ESPN. Myron, how are you?
I'm doing well. Are y'all still in Kansas City, or y'all moving to Kansas too?
We're actually already on the Kansas side, so for us, this is nothing new. So I know Kansas City, it's weird, okay? People finally get it right by saying Kansas City, Missouri, and now they're going to be confused. And all the people that don't know geography are now going to get it right. It's tough, man.
It's a lot going on, man. Definitely a lot going on.
A lot going on in college basketball. Going to get into that with you right now. Let's start with Missouri, okay? Because not only is Arrowhead leaving, the Missouri Tigers apparently never even showed up as they faced Illinois. They fell 91-48. As a Mizzou alum, this is a disaster. This is getting to the level of Kim Anderson era. I mean, I get losing. I get that there's a great recruiting class coming in next year, but Myron, this is a disaster.
Yeah, I think, it's who you're losing to as well, right? I mean, your rivals, two of your biggest rivals, if not biggest rivals, Illinois and Kansas, I mean, you're losing to them by, a combined, I think, 73 points or something like that. So to me, to not show up, it's just tough, because I think this Missouri team, I don't think you can coach with the idea of wait until you see what we have next year, right? And I know that's been a lot of the message around Missouri because of who's coming in, but I also think that's a fan base that's trying to win right now, and the last couple of showings on the big stage, I mean, coupled with that Notre Dame loss, that's not how you want to end 2025, especially when you're kicking off SEC play. I think you go Florida, Kentucky. So that's not going to be easy.
Yeah, great. That's what we want to hear. That's what you want to see as a Mizzou alum.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're right. I guess for me, it's hard of how safe is Dennis Gates? You hear about this, incredible, almost Missouri historic recruiting class coming in. But at the same time, guys like Anor Boateng was supposed to be great. Mark Mitchell, you bring in. He was really good the past couple of seasons, but he can't carry this entire team. Trent Burns was supposed to be a fun story. Yeah, I know Jaden Stone is injured. That'll help some scoring. But when you look at the roster construction, you have one guy who can shoot, and that's Jacob Cruz. Everyone else is more of a either, ball handler or a post player or a slasher. And that's just not the way rosters should be constructed in the year 2025. When you make it to the tournament, you have had poor performances. You play a zone against a three-point shooting team in Princeton, which is just, what are you absolutely doing? That is a disaster. You play Drake. They play a slow game, but you would come off of beating Bama in Florida, and you're excited, and then the air out of the balloon just gets sucked out. I don't know what to make of Dennis Gates, and I don't know how safe his seat really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's still rather early, right, to me. I mean, again, these are big losses. My theory is this, when it comes to, athletic directors, boards of trustees, presidents, and people who make these kinds of decisions. They can handle losing. They're paid to deal with losing. You don't want an AD who acts just like somebody on Twitter. You know what I mean? If Twitter were in charge of, or X, were in charge of hirings and firings, somebody would be fired every day. But I do think when you lose the way that they did to Illinois, I mean, that's when you kind of put a radar or a spotlight on yourself a little bit because of the lopsided nature of that game. I do think the recruiting class is very real. I mean, 2 top 15 guys in there. It's hard for me to imagine a school separating itself from a coach who has those 5-star guys kind of lined up. But I do think you can't go through the season and just deal with a total collapse. I mean, the biggest thing is this is just not a team that can defend right now. I think a lot of people point to the offensive woes, but I think more than anything, you're giving up 90 points and 80 points. And even if it's a team like Alabama State, that's a team where should you be giving up 77 points to a team like that? So they've just got to be better everywhere going forward. There's no midseason trade to make, and I think the next month is going to be important for Missouri, Dennis Gates, and everybody involved.
Yeah, and the hilarity of it is I think that on paper, you look at the talent, the athleticism, they should be good defensively, and that's the frustration. T.O. Barrett, Honor Boateng, Ant Robinson, Mark Mitchell, you look at those guys, you're like, yeah, those are guys that can defend. Those are guys that should be able to lock up other teams, and they just can't or they just don't. Scheme or player, something is amiss. Myron Metcalf of ESPN is our guest. Talking K-State real quick with you here. They've had an intriguing season. You know, they beat Mississippi State. That's fine. You lose to Nebraska by 1. Okay, that happens. You lose at Indiana, sure, but then you lose to Bowling Green and Seton Hall. Well, that is a bad 4-game stretch. They get things right. They play Mississippi Valley State. Nice. You get that win as you're supposed to. But that win at Creighton, I know Creighton's not been great. That's still a nice road victory. What do you make of K-State as one more game against UL Monroe before they get into Big 12 play?
I think it was an important stretch after the 4-game losing stretch, right? I mean, you lose to a Seton Hall team that has a chance to, I think, be a tournament team. The Bowling Green loss, inexplainable, especially when you give up 82 points.
Yeah.
But, Nebraska and Indiana, again, potential tournament teams. Nebraska's been really good. But you got to go out and get the wins that they did. I think this isn't the same Creighton, but I think anytime you go to Creighton, I mean, I don't really care who's on the court for Creighton. That building, it's going to be tough to win. Like, there's a reason people don't go to Creighton to play in those games in the non-conference season because they're that good. So I think that win means something, even though this has been somewhat of a down year for Creighton. And you get another win, and now you've won 4 in a row, going into the season opener at home against a very good BYU team. And then you go to Arizona after that. I mean, you're talking about 2 teams that could be Final Four teams. I don't think anyone expects a victory necessarily, but you want to be competitive because I do think the stretch after that is fairly winnable. Arizona State, UCF, Oklahoma State, Utah before you play Kansas. Like, you got a chance to go into January and be on a pretty good run, I think, if you're K-State and you continue to take care of business.
Yeah, they have a lot of quad 1 opportunities. Obviously, Kansas twice, at Texas Tech, at Houston, against Iowa State. And then you mentioned, obviously, the start against BYU and Arizona. K-State, I mean, it's the Big 12, man. It's almost like the SEC in football, right? Where there's not, even the easy games aren't easy. That's the Big 12 in basketball. If you had to place it right now, does K-State make the tournament?
It's early, I mean, I think they have the potential to do that. I mean, the thing about the Big 12, it's an impossible league because, like you said, there are no easy games. But you're also in a league where you're just going to get opportunities to put quality wins on your resume all season long. I mean, to me, you're going to have to beat the Arizona States and UCFs and Oklahoma States. Like, you got to win those games. And then you got to steal one from the Kansas, the Iowa States, the Houstons, teams like that. I mean, this is one of the best three-point shooting teams in America. Defensively, they've had their struggles, but I do think they play a style that will put them in a position to be competitive. I mean, that's a 1-point loss. Like, imagine if you win that game against Nebraska. That changes a lot.
Yeah.
You lose a 1-point game, and then I think you kind of go into those next 3 games maybe feeling sorry for yourself a bit. But you got to win those kinds of games against some of the top teams, I think, to put that on your resume and prove you're a tournament team.
Yeah, again, I said this for K-State fans, at least they're fun. They remind me a little bit of Missouri last year, but I think with a little more upside because P.J. Haggerty, I think, is that guy. You have a dude in P.J. Haggerty, Abdi Bashir. Obviously, he can hit. Castillo is a little hot and cold, but when he's on, he can put up some points in a hurry. K-State, again, they might not be able to defend very well, but they should be at least a very fun team. Myron Metcalf of ESPN is our guest. Let's switch gears and talk Kansas. Nice victory handedly over Davidson. They sit at 10-3. They've won some games that were some very, very tough games. What have you made of Kansas so far?
I think they've been remarkable considering the circumstances. I mean, I don't know how easy it is for a team to prepare not knowing if their best player is going to be available or not. And because of the nature of what Darren Peterson is dealing with, everybody says that next man up thing, but they've literally had to live it.
Yeah.
And they don't know not only when he's going to be back, but I think the harder thing for Kansas is even when he's been available, you didn't know how long he would be available. So I think that's just been the most difficult part is they're in sort of a weird situation. And listen to Bill Self talk last night. I'm not saying they're going to shut Darren Peterson down, but I also think Bill Self's been doing this a very, very long time. I think Bill Self is very, very media savvy, and I don't think he says, hey, everybody, by the way, the family's involved here, unless there's a potential that we may not see Darren Peterson for a while. You know, I mean, he's kind of opening up the screen, if you will, or the curtain, if you will, and saying there's more people involved in this decision. So I think this is a group that has to be prepared to move forward without him. And if that's the case, they've proven they can compete with high-level teams despite not having their best player. And I think that's just not easy to do.
Yeah, so what are, I guess, expectations for Kansas if we don't see Darren Peterson?
Still a tournament team. I mean, this is top 10 defense. I think the offense is where you have the challenges because they're kind of messy offensively. Again, next man up. The Melvin Council Juniors, can you play through your bigs when you have to? I think they have different ways to win. I think the challenge is this is a league slate with Iowa State. It's hard to imagine beating a team like that without your best player. Your BYU, A.J. DeBonson, the way he's playing. So there are a lot of really high-level teams on their schedule right now, and it's going to be hard to get by those teams if you're not 100%. But defensively, I think they can be in every game. And if you would have told Bill Self, listen, by the end of 2025, Darren Peterson will have played in 4 games, and you're going to be 10-3 with wins over Tennessee, NC State, and you battle Connecticut, I think he'd take that. I think most people would take that. And I think that's just the way they're going to have to prepare to play going forward because there's just no determining when he comes back. But that top 10 defense, they can defend anybody. It's just can they find enough heroes on offense to get them through, I think, the most difficult league in America.
Yeah, and at times they have. You mentioned Melvin Council and his all of a sudden shooting explosion. You've seen Trey White at times take over. Obviously, we saw that against Missouri. Flory Badunga has taken over at times as well. I guess with Melvin Council, do you believe in the shooting uptick for him, or is that just maybe an outlier? I'm not saying he's going to go 10 of 15 consistently, but I'm saying can he be a guy that goes 2 of 5 from 3 consistently in games, or is it just a hot stretch?
I mean, he's been better. I think sometimes with 3-point shooting, and there are a lot of examples like this in the NBA. Like we lock people in. Like, if they shoot poorly, one year we just go, that guy's not a 3-point shooter, right? And there are so many examples in our sport where someone just gets dramatically better from 1 year to the next or 2 years later. So I think that certainly can happen. He's shooting better. And maybe he's with a staff that is helping him become a better shooter because what we've seen over the last couple of games, he's proven he can hit those shots. And I think that has to be a positive sign. I think the other thing is, Bill Self likes that dude. He likes his character, and he likes just the way he attacks the game. And I think that, to me, is where Melvin Council really helps this team. I think Melvin Council, even if Darren Peterson's on the floor, he's the tone of the Kansas Jayhawks. He's the vibe of the Kansas Jayhawks. And I think that, to me, is just giving this group a lot of confidence. Again, man, you walk into that locker room at the start of the year, and you got a projected number 1 pick right there, and you got a bunch of dudes who can defend like hell. And all of a sudden that dude's gone. You don't know if he's going to play. Somebody's got to step up and be like, hey, everybody, it's not over. And I think Melvin Council has been that. So on the court, can he hit those shots? He's doing it right now. No reason to doubt it. And then the leadership component, though, is I think where he really has saved his team stepping into that role.
Yeah, I think I was maybe a hater, and hater's a strong word. I didn't believe in Melvin Council. Watching him early on in the year, I thought that he took some just horrendously bad shots. Just way too, when he gets downhill, phenomenal. I think he's a really good player, but I thought, man, he is just taking some dumb shots. That has to be reined in. And he's reined it in, and then he's been hitting the open one. So, to me, I think it was a shot selection issue that has been somewhat solved for Melvin Council, and it's worked for Kansas. Again, their first 3 games in Big 12 play are at UCF, against TCU, at West Virginia. Then you play Iowa State January 13th. I'm going to put you in the spot here. I know you have no idea, but if you were a betting man, Myron, would you bet that Darren Peterson plays if he sits out those 3 games he plays against Iowa State on January 13th?
Yeah, I'm not a betting man. I honestly just don't know, man. What I thought the tone of last night was, from Bill Self, was that Kansas isn't fully in full control of this, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that to me is what, again, I don't think Bill Self just says, I've known Bill a long time. That was the first time he talked about the family element in this, right? I think Bill Self is saying, listen, everybody, it's not my decision fully. And I think if that's the case, and you got guys played 4 out of 13 games, and you got a guy who can continue to miss time with NBA prep coming, I just don't know where they're headed. Like, I feel like if he doesn't play in that game, I would predict that Darren Peterson doesn't play another game after that.
So, with that being said, is this all Darren Peterson, or do you think this actually is the family saying, hey, Darren, I know you want to play, we know you want to get out there and play, but same point, you got to realize that it's not worth the potential injury risk?
I think it's probably all of the above. I think it's a lot of people involved, right?
Yeah.
Including Kansas and their staff. I'm not smart enough to know what happens with cramping and hamstrings and all these things that he's dealing with, right? And I also don't think it's fair to doubt that he's really injured, because that has happened too. I don't think that's fair. I don't know what he's dealing with. I do think it's complicated. I also think Cooper Flagg got a 4-year, $60 million deal as the number 1 pick last year, and millions more in endorsements. So for Darren Peterson, this is a $100 million decision. And I think if you're making it a $100 million decision, I do think there are a lot of people involved who are trying to put him in the best position to help his cause. I'm sure he wants to help his team, but he also has to look at the big picture. And I think that's where some of the other voices kind of get involved. And that's why this is so complicated. But I thought Bill Self saying, listen, yeah, we're in agreement with the family. Let me ask you this, man. You cover sports a long time. When's the last time you heard a coach at a high-level program say the family made a decision that this kid isn't going to play right now? I've covered this sport for 20 years.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
I could not think of a time where that's been the case.
Right? So I've never heard it, which tells me that Bill Self is saying, listen, guys, I don't know what's going to happen, and neither do you, which makes it hard to put a bet on when he's coming back.
I guess what I find so intriguing, when you bring up the Cooper Flagg, I would agree, but that was because also Cooper Flagg was the clear-cut number 1. If Darren Peterson doesn't play, then you're looking at AJ go up draft boards. You're looking at Boozer go up draft boards. Like, I don't know if Peterson doesn't play. I think this is a red flag for an NBA team. Yeah, you're right with Cooper Flagg and all that, and he needs to be healthy. But Michael Porter Jr., for example, he tried playing to the injury, did not play as well. Now, that's a back injury. It's much more serious, you would imagine. And when he came back from Missouri in the tournament, he didn't look the same guy. He looked slower, didn't have the explosion, and it dropped him to, what was it, 15, I think, when he went to Denver, 14 or 15, instead of being the clear-cut number 1. Maybe him coming back did hurt him. That's a possibility. But what's he doing now? Well, he signed a ridiculous contract with the Nets, so maybe it was a less upfront, but for the long haul, it still worked out for him, and I think Michael Porter Jr. wouldn't have necessarily done it differently. So I don't know. I find the... I got to get ready for the draft. I got to do all this stuff. Maybe a little short-sighted, because if you're a guy and you're a dude, you'll eventually get healthy, you'll get right, and you'll make that money up in the NBA at some point. Maybe you disagree, but that's somewhat my viewpoint here.
Yeah, and that could be Darren Peterson's mentality, right? But again, think about who's around Darren Peterson right now as you and I are talking. Like, think about the people involved. Let's say they're all sitting in a room to figure out when he's going to come back. Think about who's in that room. It's Bill Self and his staff. It's the Kansas training and medical staff. It's his family. Yeah. It's his agent. It's all of these people, and I'm sure NBA teams are communicating kind of where he's at. I do think the Michael Porter example is a good example, Because even if you say Michael Porter would have done the same thing all over again, I don't think freshman in college Michael Porter Jr. would have done it all over again had he known what was immediately ahead.
Sure.
So I think the Michael Porter case actually would make a Darren Peterson lean towards not coming back. The reality is, you're right. If he goes out there and shows he's a dude who's better than AJ and Cameron Boozer, Caleb Wilson, that helps his draft stock. But here's the other possibility. Maybe he's already number one on a bunch of draft boards and doesn't have to do anything else. So that could also be the message that they're getting from pro teams. Like, dude, you're a 6'6" cat who comes into the game. It's not like people are just watching Darren Peterson for the first time now. He's legitimately one of the smoothest basketball players I've seen as a freshman in college. So I just think there's a lot of things happening. And I think Bill Self, for the first time, was saying, this is even bigger than me. And again, I don't know the last time I've heard a coach at that level, of that stature, make a statement like that.
Yeah, and by the way, I think smooth is the perfect example of Darren Peterson. It's not just athleticism or a shooter. He is a guy that just has immense control of the flow of the game at that age. Very different style of player. I've mentioned this, but very different style. But Kyrie always seems to be in control. Luka Doncic always seems to be in control. Again, not trying to say he's this guy. Kobe Bryant always seemed to be in control. Carmelo Anthony, where it never seemed that they were rushing. He gets to a spot, he makes the shot, he knows the flow of the game. Again, not same style, but the control aspect, the smoothness aspect, and Darren Peterson has that as a freshman, which to me is just ridiculous. So you're right in that aspect.
He, again, man, I was trying to think back to the last time I saw someone at that level get the shots they want whenever they want it. Yeah. It was Kevin Durant for me at this level. Like, I haven't seen a player get every shot they want like that as effortlessly. And I'm not talking about making them or not. I'm talking about just getting whatever shots he wants since Kevin Durant at this level. Like, he's smooth. And if you're an NBA team, I don't know that you have to see a ton from a guy who's going to show up and be 6'6". He's going to be a shot maker, a bucket getter, in a league that really favors that kind of a player.
Yeah. Myron Metcalf of ESPN is our guest. Before I let you go here, just overarching college basketball takeaway here. To me, Michigan seems like the best team. I've been just enamored with what they can do, and maybe it's because of that stretch they had in that whatever the Champions Classic or whatever that was called this year. Are they the best team in your mind? Where do you land on the top end of college basketball right now?
To me, I think Iowa State's the best team.
Okay.
But like a smidge, is that a thing? Like a smidge, a hair, whatever you want to call it. But I think they're really close. I mean, Michigan, Arizona, Iowa State, I think are all right there. But here's the thing. You talk about being a betting man. It's not crazy to bet on that next tier of teams actually walking away with the national championship, because the upside for the BYUs and the Houstons and the UConns and the Dukes is so high. So I just think we're headed towards one of the best NCAA tournaments we've had in a long time, and I just can't wait.
Myron Metcalf of ESPN. Myron, I appreciate it. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I'm now at the age where I love getting socks, so I hope socks get delivered to you. That's me being nice here. Do you have a favorite Christmas or holiday album?
Christmas or holiday? I don't know. I'm more of a Christmas movie guy, so I'll just watch It's a Wonderful Life by myself because people don't want to watch it with me because they think it's too old and long. But that's my Christmas routine. It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay. Die Hard. I know people disagree with that, but Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I already watched my parents this. It's tradition. Me and my parents will watch it together. I like it.
I love it.
Yeah. Myron, appreciate it. Have a great Christmas. Happy holidays, man.
You too.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. That was Myron Metcalf of ESPN. We'll come back. We'll hear from Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, Matt Nagy, Chris Jones, and Chris Oladoke in the Zone. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
All right, we start looking ahead to round number 2 in the college football playoff. We start looking ahead to the Chiefs, 2 games remaining. Missouri, your moment, it's here. Finally, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, live in your state. And now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays. We'll see what the Chiefs end up doing on Thursday. Money lines, maybe just going with the Broncos on that one. Props, maybe a lot of the unders on the Chiefs with the offense. We'll see. And more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. And Missouri fans know about game day, the tailgates, the noise, the passion. And now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense, just pure action. Powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 810WHB. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 810WHB. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook.
Welcome back to the Zone, Sports Radio 810, WHB, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. Appreciate Myron Metcalf of ESPN joining, talking some college basketball, trying to get to the bottom. We can't, but we'll try our best on the Darren Peterson aspect of things. We're going to go out to Arrowhead and hear from the Chiefs. We're going to hear from Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, Chris Jones, Chris Oladokin, and Matt Nagy. Let's start now with Andy Reid.
Injury things here. So Trent McDuffie won't practice today. Nico has his knee is swollen, so he won't practice today. Rasheed won't practice, still in the protocol. Taekwon's still in the protocol. And then Jalen Watson has a muscle injury in his groin area. So with that, we look forward to the challenge of playing Denver. Good football team and well coached, good players. So with that, time's yours.
Andy, when you went back and watched the game, what did you see effort-wise? Did you I know it was a tough game for them to play because stakes weren't quite as high, but did you see the effort you'd expect to see at that?
Yeah, I thought the first time we played them, it was a real good effort.
I'm talking about the Tennessee game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Well, I'm on to this game. So, yeah, you already asked me that question. So, this group here is, I thought our guys played hard against them. It's a good rival.
Coach, when you're down to your third string quarterback, and obviously you also brought back Shane Michelle, how much of the playbook is open for these guys, or do you find yourself having to scale it down a little?
Yeah, you back it up a bit, formation-wise and that. You got a lot of guys that are new to it and learning, so, but we're still able to do enough, yeah, for sure.
Andy, what will be Patrick's role, if anything, on this week or game day? We just, sit in the box, go to the game?
Yeah, if he can. That's he's still fairly short after surgery, so he definitely won't be on the sideline or any of that. So yeah, although he'd like to be, but that's he can't do that right now.
Is he able to be in any of your meetings at all this week?
Yeah, he's not in the meetings. Yeah, he's been getting treatment and just kind of getting settled into that deal. That's not an easy recovery, but he's pounding through it and doing a nice job with that part.
Well, it's undetermined officially, I suppose. Could be Travis Kelce's last home game, I guess. If it is, what does that mean to you and I guess the organization?
Yeah, I don't know if it is or not. I haven't talked to him, but I think his numbers and personality and the person, I think speak for themselves. Phenomenal person, great for the community, has been great for the community. So he's everything you want from a player representing an organization.
With the stadium announcement yesterday, how much attention did you pay to it? How much have you kind of followed this whole thing and thinking about 2031 and where you'll be?
Yeah, well, I followed it. I think it's phenomenal news, and I went through this in Philadelphia where we had one of these deals, and it doesn't matter if it's here or Kansas. We're not moving to Florida or somewhere. We're right here. So we've always had Kansas people come here and to the Missouri side, and it'll be likewise the other way. So that's the beautiful thing about it. Plus, it would be a beautiful facility and something the fans will be very proud of. It'll be definitely loud, and those will be exciting times there.
What more did you learn, if anything, about Chris when he got to go in and play, and going back and watching film with him today about how he did and how excited he is for this week?
Yeah, no, listen, he looks forward to every week. You're talking about Oladukin, yeah. So, he prepares himself every week to go. So that's been an easy transition as far as him with the verbiage and such. So he jumps in and gets it. He sits behind the offensive drill there, and they mock it. The two quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks, mock it as if they're in. They make the calls to David, and then go about it. So they stay fresh on that, and he's in a pretty good position that way. Yeah.
Post game, he talks about how much he's watched Patrick over these last few years, prepping now for his start. Do you see any similarities between how he's preparing to what Patrick does?
Yeah, no, he spends time at it. That's and he does when he's a backup. He does the same thing. So, but he doesn't have to change a whole lot for this part because he prepares himself that way, anyways. But Pat's a great example of how to go about it, and he's watched him close, and he's followed right in suit there. Yeah.
And did you see a path for Damian Pierce to potentially play this week?
Probably not this week. Yeah, probably not this week, but we'll see about the following week. Yeah.
Andy, how would you evaluate Nagy as offensive coordinator this year?
Yeah, phenomenal. I mean, we were on a record pace there for a bit as far as statistically. So he does a nice job there.
And I know there's been some reports about his contract, last year's contract with the Chiefs. I guess, what do you see as the potential future?
Yeah, I think he deserves to be a head football coach in this league. So that's exciting for him.
Okay, guys. Thanks, guys.
All right, good. Yep.
He seemed thrilled about Lebo's question, huh? To start that interview in regards to the effort of last week. Oh, we're moving on. We're talking about this week. You already asked me that. Okay. Thought that was a little weird. Here is Steve Spagnuolo.
Happy holidays. Don't have a lot. Quick week. On to the next opponent. So I'll just open it up and let you fire away.
Could be without McDuffie and Watson this week. I guess how much more of a challenge is Cortland Sutton?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, that's pretty – it's a no-brainer, right? Big 6'4" target. But, yeah, I think Christian's played against them before in other years. And, you know, Noah will be out there, and we'll get some other guys. Josh Williams might have to step up and play a little bit for us. But, yeah, big target. We'll have to find a way to limit his catches, although I know, you know, whether he's covered or not, I think the quarterback has a lot of confidence in throwing to him. So I'm sure the ball's going to go that way at some point.
When it comes to Jeff Bass, are you eyeing maybe next year for just more defensive snaps, or do you think he could be ready for?
No, we've got everybody ready to go in this particular game. We'll see how the game goes and which way we go with the substitution. But you know, just like Jack got some snaps last week and Cooper McDonald did, I think Jeff will try to work him in there as well.
We've got a lot of guys saying they'll look in the mirror this offseason. How do you envision you're going to do that after this season?
Well, I mean, I think we all do that, right? We'll immediately go to the evaluation process, look back and see what, you know, the self-scout would talk about. And we did it at the bye week, and we do it continuously every week. But, you know, when you got a chance to take a deep breath, and the other thing we get a chance to do, you know, we don't want to have this much time. But when you do have the extra time, you know, we can research other teams, what they've done defensively, try to pick the brains of some people we know around the league. So there's a benefit to that.
You're referencing just like January now, or do you mean you're already starting some of that?
No, we're focused on this. No, we haven't jumped ahead, Sam, on that at all. That would be when it's all done. I mean, this is the first time since I've been here when we know when the last game is. So when that time comes, we'll start focusing on that stuff.
Do you foresee any additional time to spend on the draft as well?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a 5 when you go as far as we have, right? That's a month and a week of, you know, looking at pro personnel across the league, looking at draft, and it probably I can remember going to a number of these combines recently where I knew very little about the guys that we were sitting and talk to, and then what you gain here is when you go out there and you talk to these players, now you have a little bit of an idea of who they are and what they've done because you've probably seen a little bit of film on them.
See, we haven't talked a ton about Brian Cook this year, but it seems like he made a big jump from year 3 to year 4. What do you attribute that to?
I'm glad you brought Brian. I mean, he's been solid all year long, and he runs the show back there. Him and Nick are part of a lot of communication and getting guys on the right page. And I think he's done a really outstanding job tackling. I mean, he's a safety. You guys see it. I mean, he'll come up ahead. He's a big guy. I'm really pleased with the solid year that he's had.
On the self-scout thing, I remember when you mentioned when you came here that 18 was big for you because you could kind of take a step back. Just considering a lot of times it just would roll over. I guess how helpful could a month and a half to take a beat be and maybe reinventing stuff.
Yeah, again, I'm going to go back to the researching other teams. You know, we lose that a little bit, you know, when you play in the big game, which we don't mind losing it, losing the research, not losing the game. But this will give us some time to do that. I mean, I'm sure Coach will give guys time off to take a breath of fresh air, but then we kind of get right back at it. You get geared up to, all right, what can we do to get the defense better, and what are some things that are going around the league that you don't get to see during the season when you're in the middle of it, you know?
I know we talked a little bit about motivation last week, and, you know, it's a little bit different this week. It's home. The Broncos have got something to play for.
Yeah.
Does the spoiler role have any cachet with you guys?
Yeah, we had. It hasn't come up, to be honest with you. I mean, listen, it's a division opponent. They beat us the last time. You know, our guys got a lot of pride. We'd like to find a way to win the game, to say that we won the game. I'm always chasing the feeling in the locker room. I mean, I've been in this league a long time, and to me, the best moment, you know, the best hour of my life is every time we win a game and we're in the locker room and we're hugging. That, to me, that's special. And you know, someday when we're all not in this business, I mean, that's what I'll miss most, is that. So we're still chasing that. It doesn't matter who it's against or when it is or where we're playing. That's pretty special.
What kind of surprise has Kevin Knowles been to you this year?
I tell you, he'd be a great surprise. I mean, I don't see all the special teams, but every once in a while when I look out there, especially when we're kicking off because we're getting ready to go out, I've seen him make some. All of a sudden, whew, there goes 38. You know, he's making a tackle. So, and he's filled in there at nickel for us, which we didn't really expect. And I think he's done a solid job. I'm hopeful that he gets some more reps and proves that he's a really good football player. He's a free agent that came in here and made the football team.
What are your general impressions of Matt Nagy as an offensive coordinator? You have to go against
Oh, yeah, I love Matt. I mean, Matt's a sharp football player. I watch him in the hallways and interacting with the guys and drawing things up on the board and coming up with good stuff. And going against them's fun. A lot of respect for Matt. Yeah. Good?
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
It did sound at least a little bit like Jeffrey Bassa might play this week. He mentioned that Jack and Cooper got some run last week, and it's all about on packages and all that stuff, but it did sound at least a little more like we might see at least a chance of Jeffrey Bassa. I sure hope so. Here is Chris Jones. Here's Chris Jones.
Go for Chris Jones.
Chris named to the Pro Bowl team today. What did that mean to you?
That I got a really, really good supporting cast around me. It doesn't happen without those guys. I'm super grateful and super appreciative of the fact that my peers and the fans still consider me a Pro Bowler in this league.
Chris, do you remember the first time that you made the Pro Bowl and just kind of what your reaction was then?
You know what? Early on in my career, I always wanted to make like the Pro Bowl and everything, but the first time I made it as a backup. It was like 2018. I made it as an alternate, and that's when I realized that none of it really matters. I play to win rings, man. I've never been to the Pro Bowl, but it's never been my goal to, Pro Bowls. Not all pros is a little different because you're the best in your position, but the Pro Bowl is like more so popularity. I missed the Pro Bowl with 15 and a half sacks, so it just shows you how the Pro Bowl is. So.
Do you think you'll go this year to that?
To the Pro Bowl?
Yeah. I guess you go.
I mean, I can't even fathom to think about the Pro Bowl right now. We got 2 more games in the season. Trying to stay healthy, trying to finish the season strong, and whatever guys direct me to, that's what I'll do. But right now I'm just focused on staying healthy for the remaining of these last 10 days that I got with this group right here, making the most out of it.
Chris, you've been with Kelsey since the beginning of your career. This could be his last home game, I guess. When you hear that, we don't know for sure, but when you hear that, I guess, what does that mean to you?
Man, it's sad, to be able to be here with my brother, man, and just be able to share the field with him. I hope it is. I hope it isn't his last ride, but if it is, tip my hat off to him. Hell of a career.
Chris Spags just talked about the feeling in the locker room after a win. That's what he chases all week. What does that feeling, that hour in the locker room after a win mean to you?
Feels really, really good. Especially after a week of preparation and game planning. Then to be able to be successful with it and come with a W, I mean, that speaks volumes to your group, to the dedication that the individuals put in. So when it comes full circle and you're able to get the results you want, then it's like it was all worth it.
We talked a little bit about motivation last week, and you were talking about you play for the name on the back and the front and all that stuff. Will there be a little different kind of motivation when you're at home playing the Broncos and they're playing for something, or any of that matter at all with you guys?
Man, we're in G-High Field, Arrowhead Stadium. Anytime you step in Arrowhead, man, it's fun. You feel the love, you feel the energy, and then, you're playing for something more greater than yourself. I mean, it's a lot of kids there. Probably going to be a lot of first-timers there because of the Christmas game. A lot of people coming out, understand they pay their hard-earned money, no matter where we at in our situation on the aspect of playoffs or anything. I think you owe it to them to give your all and play your best and, show it for the fans.
Is it just a Arrowhead? You got the Kansas City, Missouri hat on. How do you feel about the announcement that this team's going to be moving to the other side of the state line?
Listen, man, there's a lot of history in that stadium, and like Mr. Hunt said, his father was all about evolving, and these fans are loyal. They've been loyal since knee high, and whatever they do, that's 2031. How many years away is that? 5.
Maybe 37.
Yeah, I won't be playing there, man. I won't be playing there, man. I hope I have a seat somewhere in a suite or somewhere wherever they plan to build this thing at. But, oh, man, that's so far away, but so close, man. And whatever they do, wherever we play at for the next few years now, I'll be appreciative. But I have so much love for Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas. So wherever we play at.
Could you be a coach in 2031? Does that interest you at all?
Coaching my kids to play football.
Oh, that was good. That was fun. Fun little ending from Chris Jones there. Coaching my kids. I won't be playing in 2031. I won't be playing in the new stadium. Maybe they'll have a spot in the suite. You think next to the Catch Brothers? You think they'll be sitting up there together maybe?
They're probably going to be banned from that stadium.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll hear from Matt Nagy, Chris Oladokin. I think it's just those two guys left. We'll hear from Chris Oladokin and Matt Nagy on the other side of the zone. Sports Radio 810 WHB. All right, Missouri, if you've not heard by now, FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State. They're kicking things off with an offer that is just extremely tough to beat. I mean, this is just a phenomenal offer because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get 300 in bonus bets, win or lose. And for those who are not new customers, if you're an existing customer, hop on FanDuel right now. If you've not hopped on in a little bit, there are great profit boosts and specials going on all week long for the holiday season. They have these little cards you can flip. 4 cards show up in the app. You press one of them, boom. Whatever you pressed on, there's some profit boost heading to your account right then and there. It's been great. I've been having a lot of fun on FanDuel. Had a nice little Monday Night Football last night. I thought the line of 5.5 in favor of San Fran was way too low. I ripped that, coupled with a Chris McCaffrey anytime touchdown. Boom, right there, positive money. Easy win. It was a nice day for me. You can have a lot of fun, and it's not just football. If you want to have some little extra excitement on some basketball, some hockey, pretty much anything, any sport, you can do it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So all that you need to do is download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to join in on all the excitement. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game with FanDuel.
21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Wrapping up the hour right here on The Zone. Todd Lebo joins us in the next hour. We'll also hear from Chris Oladokun, the new quarterback for the Chiefs, right? Chris Oladokun taking over the
Christmas Oladokun.
Christmas Oladokun. Ho, ho, ho. Bring us some presents. That present is looking good in a Chiefs loss, and the present is a higher draft pick for KC. We'll also hear from Matt Nagy, who is now being floated around as a head coach yet again in the NFL. Oh, no. No, we don't want him to leave.
Very Eric Bieniemy type of treatment from Andy Reid.
Try to get him out there. See if we can get him a head coaching job somewhere. So from those two guys, we'll play a little Fact or Fiction with Lebo as well. Welcome back to the Zone Sports Radio 810 WHB. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, Lebo joins us in just a little bit. We're going to play some fact or fiction. Going to have some fun with Leibs. I do want to get his thoughts on. I thought Andy Reid was not super kind to Leibs on that first question. I want to get his.
I wonder why.
Perspective on that. But before we bring on Lebo, we're going to hear from Chris Oladokun as well as Matt Nagy. The new quarterback, Christmas Oladokun, as Darcy so eloquently put it, will be the starting quarterback on Christmas Day. Here is Oladokun.
So, here it is. Start. What's this last few days been like for you, knowing kind of preparing this way and getting ready for this?
It's definitely been crazy. You know, stuff happens fast in the league. People always say that. So, definitely just been a lot of preparation. You know, getting ready for this game, and you know, I'm super excited to go out there and show the world what I got.
I know a coach said Patrick hasn't been in meetings and stuff, but have you had communication with him? I know he texted you after the game. And
Yeah. No, I've talked to Pat, and most of it's just lighthearted, and but I know he's rooting for me. He's got his own thing going on right now with rehab and stuff. So I know he's rooting for me.
What would it mean to you to play spoiler and kind of mess up the Broncos' plans if you guys are successful?
That'd be great. It'd be a great Christmas, that's for sure. It'd make the mood a lot lighter at home after the game. But we know we're facing a great opponent in Denver, one of the best teams in the league right now, not only defensively but offensively as well. So we've definitely got our hands full, and I feel like we got a good plan to go out there and spoil it out on Christmas.
Chris, how many people you anticipate, family and friends, will be here on?
I'll have 5 at the game. So I'll have my little brother that plays for the Chargers, actually. He's on the IR there. And then my little sister, her boyfriend, and then my mom and dad. So super fired up. It was a quick turnaround getting flights and stuff for them up here. Obviously, they didn't think I'd be starting the Christmas game. So it's pretty cool that they'll be up here.
I imagine just want to make sure they weren't in Tennessee, so they've never seen his
Yeah, no, they weren't in Tennessee, but it's crazy. One of my best friends back home, Jake Hampton, he hit me up like 8 p.m. the night before the game and was like, "Hey, man, I live in Asheville, North Carolina. That's like a 4-hour drive. I'll drive up and at least see you in uniform." And I was like, "All right, cool." And as he's walking into the stadium, he said he looked up at the jumbo and he's like, "Is that Chrisen?" And yeah, there I was. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to have him there, and at least I had some support there in Tennessee.
How much do you look at this as an opportunity to maybe solidify yourself at least as number 2, and then once you're number 2, getting into that number 1 mix?
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity, and it's something I don't take lightly. These opportunities don't come around often, and so when you get them, you got to take that and run with it. So this is not only a big game for our team, but me personally a big game in terms of letting the league know what I can do and letting these coaches know what I can do, and moving forward, having that confidence, in me if something were to happen, that they feel confident that I can go out there and execute the game plan.
When you went back and watched tape this last couple of days, what do you think you did well, and what do you think you need to work on?
I think especially early towards the game, getting us into field goal position and leading some scoring drives was great. Getting the ball out of my hand and just sort of getting the ball to our playmakers did well. Was able to extend a couple plays too for some big games, which that's a big part of my game and something I always want to utilize. And then in terms of I think just the little operational stuff, just making sure we get in and out of the huddle. Don't want to have any penalties, whether it's my cadence and me and the O-line just sort of getting on the same page. I think that's always something we could clean up. But for a first outing, I felt really good, felt really proud of myself, and not only myself, but the guys were awesome with me. I mean, Trav, Creed, Trey, the whole O-line sort of, make it every single driver out there, "Hey, we got your back, man." So when you have that confidence, from those guys, I mean, felt great.
They literally told you that?
Yeah, every single drive, Trey would look at me and he's like, "I got your back, man." And that just speaks to, his character and our whole offense, our whole team, that they just rally behind me like that.
Chris, you got cut out of training camp last year, and you didn't get re-signed for a couple months. Can you take me through those 2 months? What was going through your mind? What did you do?
Yeah, that was a different experience for me. I was in a different city every single week, working out. I believe I worked out with like 7 or 8 teams. So I was just constantly in hotels and getting flights and stuff like that. And, you're sitting at home with your buddies on Sundays watching games, and you're like, man, like I really used to be out there on those Sundays. So it definitely makes you, appreciate, any opportunity you have to be in this league, no matter it's active roster, practice squad. It is hard to play in the NFL, and it's hard to stick on rosters. But also internally, really motivated me, made me sort of look at myself in the mirror and see what I needed to get better at, physically and mentally. And I think I had a really good plan with my QB coach, back home, CJ Bennett, and we sort of attacked it. And I said, if I get another chance, I won't let it slip.
We've seen over the years, Chris, how much you prepare each week. But, is there a different juice this week when you're on the field for the walkthrough this morning and, this afternoon when you're out there? Do you think there's going to be a little bit more electricity as preparing as a starter?
Oh, 100%. There's a little more electricity just because I'm the guy actually going through it. But in terms of preparation, my preparation hasn't changed. I mean, it's been the same for the last 4 years. I've taken my routine, from guys like Chad Henne. When I first got here my rookie year, obviously Pat, I sit next to him every single day and watch how he goes about his work. So I sort of just stay in my routine. That's where I feel comfortable. And just know, when they call that first group out there at practice, I'm not the one sitting there. I'm actually running out there. So.
What's been like that Shane back? I mean, you do him in training camp, right?
Shane's my guy, man. I was really happy to have him back. Me, Pat, and Shane actually still have our group text back from rookie year that we text in, almost every single day, where there's just stupid stuff on Twitter or Reels and stuff, and always just keeping up with each other's family. So, really close friend of mine. Glad he's here, and it was awesome to get a text from him. He was just like, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, man, I'm here for you. So it's good to have him back in the building.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Doesn't he sound a little bit like Patrick? Like a deeper voice?
He's very buttoned up like Pat.
Just even the voice, some of the... Yeah, I mean, like a little bit of the... He's been hanging around Patrick a lot. I like that. I will say, he looked okay. Like, I don't think... I mean, it wasn't like the offense was electric, but I thought Oladokin did okay in that game. It wasn't like he came in and looked like it was a disaster or it was too much for him. I like the informational behind the curtain of Trey Smith, walking up to him after every, drive, said, hey, I got your back, man. And again, I liked that. Trey Smith playing in that game told us a lot, and just his leadership role, I think, mattered in that one. Let's hear now from OC, potential new head coach of A-Team, Matt Nagy.
Hey, everybody.
Coach, take us through what you saw from Chris when he went in the game fresh, and then what you've seen from the last couple of days getting ready for.
Yeah, we had one of the very first plays we had a little jet motion where we were going to try to time it up and snap it on time, and the timing was off a little bit. And what he did is he stopped them. He stopped the motion, let him get set, got the back in the right spot, and made a simple play. And I think that just speaks to his calm of where he was at in that moment early on in the game. I was proud of him for that. It's not easy. We were just talking about it earlier. Even just the simplicity of a cadence that you just don't have with those guys. So I thought he handled the early part of it well. We had a few RPOs in there, and he made good decisions. And then he does some things with his legs. But I was proud of him. I thought he kept his calm the whole time. That's not an easy moment in that situation. And I just think back to the first day that he was with us, what he came from and what he's worked so hard for behind the scenes with Pat and these guys, Coach Girardi. So, here he is presented with this opportunity, and I know he's ready for it.
Yeah, along those lines, you've seen a lot of third-string quarterbacks. What separates him from all those others?
Well, I like where he's at mentally, understanding this playbook now. He's into his third full year with us, and he understands the language. It is different being able to it's different being able to understand it. It's harder when you got to go to the line of scrimmage with guys chasing you. You got calls you got to make. Like, it's one thing when you're watching tape with a remote and you're looking at the television and you can make your ID calls and your protection calls and stuff like that. When you get out there and you're not looking bird's eye view, it's loud. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. I thought that part he's done really well in practice, and I thought in the game last week there was a few things here or there, but we'll have a tall task on Christmas night. But I know that the guys have really put in some good time, and I think he's ready for it.
Man, you and Chris both mentioned cadence.
Yeah.
You guys had a few false starts.
Yeah.
Early on in the game last week. But does that take some time to get used to a different voice?
It does. That part of it is real, and then you also have the excuse me, the silent versus verbal. So we were in a transition in the game there where we were going to go from silent, we went to verbal, and there was a little communication of knowing what we were on there. So I think that's the biggest part is understanding, okay, we're going to transition into verbal. Now that's different than silent. So silent is more about timing. You have your center doing the stuff he does when he snaps it, and then verbal is more about your voice inflection and just understanding that. So again, I go back to Patrick. We take a lot for granted. That seems as simple as possible, but like he's a magician at that stuff, and even our tempo in practice with him, just because he's been doing it so long, is a little slower right now in practice.
There's been some reports that you hadn't signed a contract extension past this season. Just wanted your thoughts on that, or if that is true.
Yeah, I'm again, out of respect, I know it's a fair question, but for me, I honestly want to just focus right now on that. I know that stuff will all take care of itself down the road. I have so much respect for our organization here from top down, and we're at that point in time right now, especially not being in the playoffs, where stuff like that starts to come out, and I really am focused with these guys and want to help these guys out, and then all that stuff will take care of itself at the end here.
We don't know this for sure, but it could be Travis Kelce's last home game. I guess when you hear that, what does that mean to you?
Well, I go back to 2013 when he first got here, and I just think back, and it's funny, like you go through some of this tape as you're looking at some of these clips, and you see clips from 14, 15, 16, him running routes and some things that were a concept here or there, or it's not. It's just a route here or there. And what Travis has done to this organization, to his teammates, to his coaches, to this city, it's special. And you hate to even hear that. And I hope like hell that that's not true. I just have so much respect. I've been fortunate enough, selfishly, to be with him for many years, and I've learned a lot from him. I will also say this, and I think it's fair for everybody to understand, with Travis, to understand what he's going through, even in these last couple games. We're out of the playoffs, mathematically, we're out, and he's out here every day at practice, leading, helping people out, fighting his ass off on game day, has a great spirit with him on the sideline. And I think that should go to show a lot of guys on this team, these younger guys, why he's playing this game and why he's so special. And I know personally, I don't ever want to take that for granted. I know how much we love him as a city and as coaches, and I hope that's not true. I'd love to see him play more.
We know he's not playing the level he maybe was once back in the day, but his level of play still.
Oh yeah, no, he's doing great. And there's some things. There's going to be some routes that he ran really, really well as a third, fourth year into the league. But what he uses now is his savvy with his mental. These guys see what he does, and he's able to set guys up, and he's having a great year right now, and I think that's what's so special. And his leadership skills, the way he leads these guys, is second to none. And it's been a tough year. It hurts to be where we're at right now. We understand the frustration. It's difficult. It's not fun. But when you go through these times, I think in the end, one of the things that I'll think back on Trav and these other vets is how they're handling this moment right now, which is not fun or easy. They're handling it like true pros, and I always remember that.
Do you envision some benefit from trying to get Jalen involved in the last couple games just before he goes in the offseason?
Yeah, I don't think it hurts at all. I think it'd be good for him to get some reps and get out there and see what he can do. He had a great preseason for us. It's been, like I said before, a little bit of a redshirt year for him, but he has a lot of talent, and he saw it on tape in school, and then he put it in preseason. Unfortunately, had a little bit of that injury he had to fix at the front end. But I think now's a good time to be able to try to get him some reps, and we're trying to do that. And it's never easy, but for sure it's something that we want to do. Thank you, Coach. All right, take care. Happy holidays.
You try to get him some reps, then do it. Come on.
You directly make that call. Or he's at least part of
that conversation. Please. Show me some Royals. They've had a great offseason. Let's see if we can do something in the Chiefs season. And we heard Spags talk about playing Bossa. So play him, please. I don't need to see Isaiah Pacheco treated like Jonathan Taylor. I don't need to see 91% of the snaps going to Juju Smith-Schuster. My Christmas wish, I'm writing to you, Santa. Please play the young guys. play Brashard Smith, play Bossa, play Jalen Royals, Santa. This is all I'm asking for. I don't ask for much. This is what I'm asking for.
Do you think there's a better chance that the Kansas City Royals play before Jalen Royals does?
Oh, man, that's a good call.
How about we say a catch?
A catch, because he had 3 snaps last week. Oh, that's a good call. Fact. We'll take a break, come back. Fact or fiction. Lebo comes your way next. Missouri, if you've not heard by now, you are being willfully obtuse. You're not listening. Listen up, because FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State. They are kicking things off with just this. This is a phenomenal offer, okay? Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. I just did it during this break. I went on. I was going to say, what is my profit boost of the day? It's a holiday season and a season of giving, and they are giving away profit boosts, it seems like, every single day. Pick the top right card, boom. Just like that, I get myself a profit boost. It's that easy. It's that simple, and it's all right there on FanDuel. So download FanDuel today or head to FanDuel.com/Missouri to join in on all the excitement. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game with FanDuel.
21 plus and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
It's time for Fact or Fiction.
Fact or Fiction is brought to you by Choice Solutions. Make the right choice today by visiting choicesolutions.com to help your business grow. That's choicesolutions.com.
Lebo coming in.
That wasn't streaming, was it?
Hot. Standing at attention, jamming out on a air guitar. Lebo is bringing the energy to the zone.
I'm full of energy.
Does it bring you energy when Andy Reid is mean to you?
He's not mean to me.
He was mean to you today. I'm not going to let him do that to you.
He's not mean.
He was mean to you.
He's been mean to me. Today's not mean.
Okay, it wasn't as bad as the one time.
Yeah.
But this
Don't worry about it.
I know. I want to go down to one Arrowhead Drive and say,
bother me at all.
"Hey, Mr. Reid, sir,
Hey,
what?"
Listen, it's been rough this last couple weeks.
Doesn't mean he needs to take it out on you.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm here for anybody. Whatever it takes.
I'm just saying, Lebo, me and Darcy, we both said, we got your back.
Hey, before we get to Fact or Fiction, I want to mention this again. We've talked about this a little bit in the midst of all this stadium stuff. The thing that I want Chiefs fans and Chiefs ticket holders to follow, and we asked the questions yesterday to both Clark Hunt and Mark Donovan. We need to follow whether or not they're going to have PSLs.
Pumpkin spice lattes?
Personal seat license.
Oh, okay.
Because that is that will be on the backs of the season ticket holders. And that will be part of the stadium financing if they do that.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think they're going to have PSLs. Now, how much will they cost? I don't know.
Most teams have PSLs.
On the new stadium deals. That's what they said that yesterday. Most do. You know, but people here in this town have never paid a PSL.
What does that cost?
Well, I was talking to some guys in Buffalo when I was at the Buffalo game sitting up in the upper deck. They told me they were building, they're building a new stadium next door. They were at about the 10-yard line upstairs, fifth row, third, fourth row. Decent seats, right? Not great, whatever.
But decent.
And they were going to, I think their PSL was going to be like $2,000 per ticket. Now, that's not annually. You pay it one time.
It's a one-time fee. Yeah.
But then you have to buy your tickets on top of that. And then you can sell that. It's an asset. Cern and I talked about this a little bit yesterday. But I was talking to a buddy of mine.
But you own your seat, then basically is how they frame it.
So, now, you don't own for every event that happens there.
No, you do not.
Not for the Super Bowl. But I was talking to a guy. He had they're building a new stadium in Nashville, and he was playing golf with a guy who these must have been nicer seats. I think these must have had some premium access or something.
Sure.
But like $50,000 for PSLs.
That's insane.
So this is, and they will do, I've seen as low as $250 for some seats in Nashville to up to $50,000 or $60,000.
Sure.
Depending on what it is. Now, if you do the math on that, if they have 65,000 plus seats there, they won't sell every seat as a PSL because, they want to keep some out,
open,
and they'll have like probably a discount if you do it early and a little more expensive later and all that kind of stuff. But that can add up to hundreds of millions of dollars, which comes out of what they said they were going to pay for the thing. So just something we need to watch as it goes.
Well,
because here's the thing: nobody voted for the stadium to move to Kansas. Okay, it happened. The legislature did what they did. The team chose to do that. Listen, people in Jackson County, Missouri had a chance to vote a year and a half ago that would have kept this stadium in Jackson County, Missouri. It would have been a new stadium, all that. I know it was with the Royals, but whatever. The season ticket holders were polled and asked questions and things like that. But I don't think they told them all, hey, here's the deal. We're moving to Kansas. You give us $10,000, then you can buy a ticket from us. I don't know. So
it's like college sports, by the way, because a lot of college
donations.
Yeah.
You make a donation, your annual donation to the Williams Fund in Lawrence or to whatever it's called at fill-in-the-blank university, and that's ongoing to do that.
Yeah.
And then you buy your tickets as well. So listen, it is what it is. Let's play Fact or Fiction.
Fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I'm about to sneeze.
Fact.
That's a fact.
It's like stuck. Oh no, this hurts. You know when it gets stuck?
Let's go first.
Well, this hurts.
Let's go.
Fact or fiction, man. This sucks. I'm in pain. Fact or fiction, the Chiefs will still beat the Raiders.
Fact.
Fiction.
Fiction. They will not beat the Raiders. This team is done. They are
2
buns.
scoops of ass.
2 scoops
Maybe
of
more.
ass. Yeah, this might be the very rare 3 scoops.
Banana split.
Darcy. I think the Chiefs' scheme offensively was the main culprit for this record this year.
Is it going to be the scheme or is it going to be the talent? I'll go ahead and say fact.
Fact.
Fact. It is fact. The
No,
scheme
that's a
is
fact. I saw it on PBS.
Scheme is the main reason. I'm so irate at the scheme. I couldn't be more irate. I'm livid. I'm irked. Okay. You see 44-year-old Phillip Rivers go in and make an impact. You see Brock Purdy throwing to Jawan Jennings as his wide receiver 1. Yeah, he's got Christian McCaffrey, but you know why it works with Sky Moore as their wide receiver 4 and Demarcus Robinson as their wide receiver 3? Because the scheme. It works.
Scheme.
Lebo.
Yeah.
I am surprised. I am shocked the Chiefs are actually moving to Kansas.
Fiction.
I'll say fact. It kind of snuck up on us.
Fiction. I'm not surprised. I'm like, oh, huh.
I've been telling you for months.
Yeah, that's my point. Is like we've been in conversation. Darcy hasn't been in those rooms.
Head in the ground.
Not old enough.
Not old. Once you get older, we'll let you know. We'll let you know. So yeah, I'm not surprised or shocked. Darcy. This is an argument that K-Dog was getting in with yesterday. I think Arrowhead is an iconic venue.
Oh, boy.
I heard you say it's a fact.
I'm going to go with Darcy saying it's a fact.
It is a fact.
Okay.
That's the fact, Jack. That's the fact, Jack.
So
Are you willing to fight with Curtis on Twitter about it?
Not on Twitter about
Okay,
it.
good.
I don't care. I'm not going to type stuff. That's just too long. It's too much work.
Way too much work.
Way too much work. Okay, I'm not doing that. But my thought here is Arrowhead is iconic, not just the stadium. Like, I get it. It's concrete. Any stadium you could say is just concrete. But
concrete, steel, and plastic.
Plaster, maybe.
There's no plaster.
There's no plaster.
That's some sheetrock.
Back in the day, there might be some
Yeah.
plaster in that. bad
That's
boy.
72. That was the sheetrock.
That was past
gypsum board.
Some lead-based paint, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, there might have been some of that back there.
That's 72. There could be
Yeah.
some LBP back there. But the point still remains. I think it is an iconic venue, and I do think part of the reason why it's iconic, funny enough or not, if people care, I think Arrowhead, the name, is also what makes it iconic, because it's not like some of these stadiums that have. I know it's GEHA Field at Arrowhead, but everyone calls it Arrowhead. Right. A lot of places are just now
the sponsor.
Allegiant.
Because when they built them, yeah.
It's Allegiant.
Yeah.
Like, that's not iconic. That's nothing. That means nothing. Arrowhead, I do think the name matters. And even before the success built on that. The success helped that, which also, by the way, when people are acting like it's a family, like now it's family friendly when it comes to how cheap it is to go to Chiefs games, they're like, we can't afford the new ones. I can't afford to go to the games now.
Yeah. That's part of the problem with sports in the world today.
When you win, that's the tax you pay for good teams.
If you lose, it's not cheap to go to an NFL game.
Correct. So I don't know why we're acting like it's $7 for a family of 4 to go.
No.
And then now it's going to be $12,000.
Try to go to a movie. That ain't cheap either.
No.
Go out and get a cold sandwich for lunch. That ain't cheap either.
Nothing's cheap. Gosh, I'm getting old.
You know what we're doing? We're giving this away for free, though.
Giving iconicism.
Iconicity.
It's iconic, but it's not so iconic that they could never move.
Soldier Field's iconic. They might move to Indiana.
Yeah, Soldier Field's not iconic anymore.
I
It
don't-
was.
Yeah,
They
it
put a
was.
spaceship in the middle of it.
Yeah. Fair.
Allen Fieldhouse is iconic.
Allen Fieldhouse is iconic.
I was actually just thinking about that. They could never move there, but it's also a little different, like college sports versus.
I would agree.
I don't know. They stopped playing at Brewer Fieldhouse and Hearn Center, and they built Mizzou Arena. They stopped playing at Ahern, and they built Bramlage. You could build them all, man.
True. Darcy, I think we start with you. No, we start with Lebo.
Me.
Pacheco will get over 8 carries next game.
Yes. Fact. For no real reason.
I'll say fact.
Fact. I don't want it to happen, but Pacheco's going to get 8+ carries.
Fact.
And I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Bad fact.
Darcy, Jalen Royals will get at least 2 targets next game.
We talked about this. Is that why you didn't answer the okay.
Correct. I kept it vague.
Give me fiction.
He actually said, when asked point blank, I think Pete asked him.
He
right,
did.
At the end. I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to say fact. Because I think Chris Oladokun has probably thrown more passes to Jalen Royals than most people because they've been scout teaming.
Sure.
So I'm going to say fact.
That's a very good call, but you're wrong.
Dang
It's
it.
fiction. Because he has to at least be on the field for that to happen.
We're going to check this.
We're going to
gonna
check.
check this.
I nailed them all last week. 12 for
We're gonna
12.
check this. No, you didn't.
Prove it.
We're going to check it.
Deleted them. Ohio State, Darcy, will win the college football playoffs.
I think that's fiction.
I think I'm going to go fiction on that this year, too. I think they're very good. I think it's a fiction.
Yeah, I went fiction. I would take the field, I think, is the way I view that. I think they have a great matchup against Miami. That's going to help them get to the semis. But then at that point, I think Ole Miss is really good. I think Georgia's really good. One of those two teams could knock them off. I still think IU is ridiculous. But Tech might be the... I don't get how they're underdogs against Oregon. I like Oregon, but Tech to me has been... they're good on both sides of the ball. I like Tech a lot.
This is a big step up in competition for them.
It is. It's big, but I believe in Tech. I think they're so good in the trenches that it really does make it. But Oregon's improved there as well. All right, we'll go with Lebo. Every round besides the championship round in college football should be played at home.
Well, fact. You're going to say fiction, but I'm going to say fact because I had a great time in Norman.
No, it's a fact.
Friday night.
It's 1,000% a fact.
Okay.
It's a fact.
I get why the championship game is neutral, but why is round 2 neutral? Why are they being played as Braden
have
Gall?
arrangements with these bowl games.
Dumb.
Listen, the bowl games
They're
are
soulless.
They're a little cottage industry. I have a friend who I went to college with who's like the PR director of the Peach Bowl. They have this little. There's like these 6 people who work at each one of these bowls. That's their job.
Well, tell them to eat peaches.
They have way too much power.
Tell them to eat peaches.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. I know. Hey, by the way, it's 7-6. We're all tied. Darcy's winning.
For now.
We start with someone.
I think I said that first, so it's Darcy.
We start with Darcy. I am bummed. There's going to be a dome at the new stadium for the Chiefs.
Oh, there's so much to this question. Like, because if it's a dome that doesn't retract, then you will be bummed.
A non-retractable dome.
Okay, I will say then it is a fact.
I can't tell if you're trying to fake it with your little acting here. Fact.
Fiction. I'm okay with it.
I was going to say fiction because I knew you were trying to fake act.
You like that fake acting? Pretty good. Pretty good. You guys can't see my face all the time, but I'm a good actor. I told you I would be a good actor. I could lie with the best of them. This is the issue. I get why people are upset that it's a dome, and I agree that with most people that it should be retractable, but I don't like the cold.
Yeah.
I'm selfish. This is me being honest. I went to snow games. They're awesome.
You're a Florida boy.
They're fun. I am a Florida man. I
said Florida boy.
I'm 8.
I'm a man.
I'm like Alice Cooper.
I'm 30.
I'm Alice Cooper. I'm a man and I'm a boy. I'm in between.
Yeah.
But when it comes to cold games, I've had my fill. Sorry, I'll be selfish. Snow games, they're fun. Great time. I'm over it. I would rather be warm.
There you go.
It'll be loud in the dome, too. It'll reverberate.
Yeah.
If
they are getting better with some of the new lighting and things.
Yeah.
So, I would like, honestly, if they could find a way. SoFi's not really a dome. It's covered, but it's not a dome.
See, I would like that, too.
Yeah, if they could maybe close the ends to where you could play basketball in there and then, have that part open. I don't know.
That would be really cool.
It's all going to be about cost.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to give you my thoughts that no one cares about.
No, we all care.
Lebo.
Yeah.
Chris Oladokun throws for over 175 yards.
Fiction.
Against this Broncos defense?
Yeah,
on
is it just this
Christmas?
game?
Yeah, it's this game.
Okay.
Oh,
fiction.
absolutely fiction.
Fact. He's going to be slanging that rock all over the field.
Who's he throwing it to?
Jalen Royals.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
No, but it's not.
Juju Smith-Schuster, baby. Travis Kelce is going to feast. I don't know. He threw for, 113 yards?
Not even a whole
full
game.
3 quarters.
Not even a whole game. I mean, against a very good Titans team.
Very good Titans team. Can
Still
I
7-6. By
Can I have some sort of optimism here?
Yeah, I have optimism. I said Jalen Royals. I mean, catching the ball. I like Chris.
We'll
Sling
start.
it.
We'll start with Darcy. Darren Peterson won't play another game for Kansas.
I'm going to say fiction, but I would not pick the over-under more than 2.5.
I'm going to try to say fact to catch up.
Fiction.
Dang it.
I
It's
think.
falling further
I
behind.
think he plays again. I think he. I
Waiting
don't
for
know.
a big Monday somewhere.
Yeah, I think in each of the NBA. Like I can't imagine you be the number 1 draft pick and
He
not
won't be.
But I just think you need to play. Lebo, final one. Both K-State and Mizzou miss the NCAA tournament.
Fact.
Is this Sterling the Missouri fan? Or is
I
this-
know what he thinks about Missouri. I think the question is K-State here.
I'm going to say the correct answer is fact that they're not going to make the tournament.
Both K-State and Mizzou.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'll say fact.
Fiction. K-State's going to make it.
See, I told you that was a question.
You're right, Lebo. Mizzou is
It's 8-6.
What's worse, the Chiefs' offense or Missouri basketball?
Missouri basketball is really bad, but FanDuel last night made some money. Bet the line. I laid 8.5. Breeze.
Easy. That's the easiest bet you've made.
It was the easiest bet I made. I went to sleep well before the game was over.
The best one I did on FanDuel yesterday was I had 49ers minus 5.5, and then Christian McCaffrey scored a touchdown parlay. That was very
Also,
easy.
I had the Niners. I didn't do a parlay. I had the Niners.
And then a live bet when they went down 7-0 to the Colts. I go
definitely going to score.
I'm throwing extra money now on the Niners. It was woof, loved it.
Illini was easy pickings last night.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you like that game?
No, I hated it.
Oh,
It
did you?
sucked. I'm despondent. I didn't even know they played a game. I don't think Missouri basketball players knew they played a game.
Some were there.
Bonus.
Write this down, Darcy.
Call me George Strait because, baby, write this down. Rank these Christmas albums.
Okay.
James Brown, A Funky Christmas. Bing Crosby, White Christmas. Mariah Carey, Merry Christmas. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Or Elvis,
There's
Christmas.
5 of them.
5.
Okay.
So basically just rank James Brown, Bing Crosby, Mariah Carey, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, or Elvis for Christmas album.
Christmas with Grupp Ruppin's not on there. You know, we have it.
You had a Christmas EP?
We have an EP.
I've not heard it.
We've been doing some AI things. I may let you hear some of it. Maybe.
I'd like to.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'd love to. All right, that's what it is. There's the bonus. We'll take a break. We'll come back. The Zone, Sports Radio 810 WHB. Well, watching Missouri basketball and the Chiefs play football has made me, I don't want to say turn to it, but it makes the games better when you bust out the Bandito on game day. Watching Missouri lose by 43, you know what helps ease the pain? A little deliciousness, which is the taste of the undefeated flavor of an ultra-premium tequila, which is El Bandito Yankee Tequila. Made from 100% Blue River agave from the highlands of Jalisco, Mexico. There's no fake colorings or flavors, and they're verified additive-free Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. They've won countless platinum and gold medals, and it's not one of those tequilas that, you know, your friend gives you one, you're like, dude, this is horrible. What am I doing? I don't want this. This is now a punishment that you're giving me. El Bandito is so smooth, it's criminal. You don't have to have the salt. You don't need the lime. You just have it neat on the rocks in a margarita. You name it, and it is delicious. Tequila Sunrise, this is what you should make it with. So, pick it up at your local store or ask for it at your favorite restaurant or bar. You can get it at Justin's of Lenexa, J&L Spirits and Wine and OP, Gomer's on 103rd, Macadoodles in Lee Summit, and now you can break out the Bandito at the bar at Grinders KC and Leavenworth with Stretch. So get yourself a cheesesteak, a nice glass of El Bandito Yankee Tequila at Grinders today. Learn more at elbanditoyankee.com. Welcome back to the zone.
8-6. Darcy is beating me 8-6, but we're tied.
Jason has 4.
Somehow. Now,
Jason
Jason
would have
probably
had
would have
4.
10.
So how does this game work? If I get 2 wrong,
He'll just declare a winner.
I
at
just
the end of
declare
this
winners.
tournament.
Okay.
So it doesn't really. There's no rules.
There's only been one perfect score ever, and that was me.
That was.
I remember
Libbo.
I was out at Brogdon. I got all 12 right.
You
and
couldn't even
it
see
was
my
like
face.
A 4. It was a Led Zeppelin thing or something.
Yeah, it
right?
was. It was incredible. It was
magical.
That was the most magical performance. That was throwing a perfect game on.
You know what it was?
LSD or acid. Was it LSD?
Iconic.
It was iconic. That was the arrowhead.
Much like Arrowhead. It was iconic.
Of this show.
All right, let's go.
Rank these Christmas albums: James Brown, Bing Crosby, Mariah Carey, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and Elvis.
All right, I'm going with
Number
the
5.
Fifth place
Yeah.
first. I hope you don't have this any higher. Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Darcy?
I had Elvis.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Let's go.
So
no.
here's the thing. I really like Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I really do. But you can only listen to like 2 or 3 songs.
You don't need a
before
bunch of it.
You don't need an album of it.
No.
I just need to hear the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You need the one song. They're
That's it.
talented. Very talented. Just that's really all I need, though. Number 4.
I put Mariah here, even though it's maybe the best song of all of them, but it's only one song. I put Mariah.
You're on a heater.
I put White Christmas because you said you don't like old stuff.
That's not always true, though. Number 4. I never said that.
You said that with Myron. This has dictated my
I didn't
list.
say I didn't say I didn't like
you
old
said,
stuff.
Well, you said you.
Not old music. You're talking about old stuff, maybe. I don't know.
I love old music. What do you mean?
You like other newer, different genres.
Oh, I do, but I didn't put J.D. McPherson here.
He likes it
I
all.
put classic. Yeah, I like it all.
So Mariah's 4th?
Mariah's 4. You're right.
Okay.
Maybe the best song, but yeah, I don't need. That's all I
don't
need.
think.
It's kind of like Trans-Siberian.
I'm a little bit scared about number 3.
Number 3.
I think I might have messed this up, but I put Bing Crosby 3rd.
I had Trans-Siberian.
Bing Crosby,
Let's go.
number 3.
Let's go.
Lebo knows my
I'm
music pretty
crumbling
well.
right now.
Number 3 is Bing Crosby. I've been dreaming of a white Christmas.
I think I messed this up.
Number 2.
I think I messed this up. I want to switch it, but I'm going to go with, because I wrote it in ink.
You wrote it in ink.
I put James Brown 2nd.
Number 2.
I put Mariah 2nd.
Elvis is
Elvis.
number 2.
See, I knew I wanted to switch it.
Elvis is number 2.
So I got Funky
Have a
Christmas right.
Blue Christmas without you. So, Gruff Ruppin, we have a cover of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which I will play for you during the break.
How do you spell? No, I'm not going to say it.
And then you have James Brown 1, I had James Brown 2. I have that CD. It's great.
It's a great one.
Yeah.
He had 3, and then
Yeah.
the Funky Christmas is the
Funky Christmas.
compilation of
Yeah.
the soulful, all of them.
So here's the deal, Darcy.
Santa Claus.
I think I won. Because
Yeah.
I got like
you got 4 out of 5.
three out of 5, and I would just flip the 2. So
Yeah, I'll give it to Lebo. The 5,
Darcy
4,
got
3.
none.
He got none.
None.
He got
I
none.
got the first one. I got Funky Christmas.
Oh, you
That's
did well.
true.
I still win.
I'll give it to Lebo because Andy was mean to him. I love James Brown of Funky Christmas.
Yeah.
It is outstanding.
Santa Claus.
He's got to go straight there.
Straight to the ghetto. I have
great.
that one. I have, another one that's very good. Willie Nelson's.
I almost put it on there.
It's got a great song. It's not a traditional Christmas song called "Pretty Paper," which is wonderful.
Yeah.
If you ever want to laugh, go get Johnny Cash's "Country Christmas."
Oh,
it
yeah.
has a part of it's just called figgy pudding.
Yeah.
We won't go until we get some. It's so weird.
What about Mistress for Christmas by AC/DC? They put it in the middle of a normal album.
Just
It
do it.
wasn't in a Christmas album. They put it. Was that Razor's Edge?
Maybe so.
I think they put it in the middle of Razor's Edge. They're like, hey, you know what sounds good after Thunderstruck? Mistress for Christmas. Why wouldn't you do that?
They're not all hits.
And then Fire Your Guns. Like, what were they doing? Brian
Trying to have a
Johnson,
Merry Christmas.
Angus, Malcolm.
They're having a Merry Christmas. Leave them alone.
Program next.